What's poppin', my people? My name is Carl,
What up, what up? My name is Max.
and welcome to episode 29 of Hold Us Accountable.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us this week. We are bottling beer.
We got that beer of the week.
We got a joke of the week.
I got them new bag toss boards.
And we're just talking beer in general. Let's get it. Let's go, man.
Let's have some fun.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
Thank you for tuning in. I know your time is valuable. There's thousands of other podcasts that you could have settled for, but now you're just vibing with two goofy
What's up,
dudes from
YouTubers?
Wisconsin who like to discuss their problems and figure out ways to solve them, and challenge the listeners to get up out of their comfort zone. Try some shit they ain't done before. This is Hold Us Accountable.
Live from Mr.
Yeah, this is
Tommy's
Hold Us
basement.
Accountable.
Hell yeah. Back
Yeah,
in
this
it.
is Hold Us Accountable. This is Hold Us.
Shout out Decker
This is
Pollinari.
Hold Us Accountable.
Hope
Yeah,
you're doing
yep.
good out there in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hold Us Accountable.
ATL, man.
ATL, shout out everybody listening, yo.
Hell yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Woo!
Let's do this, man. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, buddy. Good to be back.
Dude.
Big
we're-
day.
A big day,
Big
man.
day.
We are bottling some beer. Long time coming.
Long time coming.
We've
It's
been
looking good.
envisioning this for a while. We've
Hell
had
yeah.
a few not necessarily setbacks, but just some not even complications,
Just
misunderstandings with the directions.
there you go. That's good. That's a good way to put it.
Us and the directions have had a few misunderstandings, but we're I think we'll be
We're
okay.
learning as we go.
Learning as we go.
Always
um,
learning as we go, man. But
Yeah,
hey,
it's been
everybody
can't wait
tuning
to get-
in. I
yeah.
forgot the banner. I forgot a lot of shit that I had right in my hands, and
Hey, but we're making the most of it, man.
fuck yeah, I think we
got-
got a nice little setup going on.
Hell yeah, we do. Hell yeah, we
And
do.
if you can't see it, instead of our regular GoPro stand, it is currently taped to a kid's basketball hoop. So
you're
we're
letting
gonna
them-
take
you're letting them
advantage
see
of
how
it.
the sausage is made, man. No one can see
Man.
that.
Yeah, but I mean,
No, we'll be throwing beers at it. We'll be making.
we're gonna make some fun out of
yeah.
it, guy.
Of course we will.
But I think Max brought us a nice little snack,
Sure did.
a tasty, cold-looking Tarski of the week, and
Oh man,
I'm thirsty.
let's do it, man. Let's get into it. Let's
Let's
get into
get
the beer of
jiggy
the
with
week,
it.
man. Let's go.
Hey,
Come on.
Maximilian, crack me open some of that shit.
Let's do it. We got a good one, man.
Right. As soon as it plays, we're
Any second now.
beer.
We got the beer.
I know you
of the
probably-
week.
Oh.
We got an advertisement of the week. We got an.
Hey,
ad
shout
of
out
the
our
week.
sponsor,
Hey.
Expedia.
Sponsor of the show, Expedia.
Oh yeah, we appreciate you guys.
No,
for-
actually, they are sponsoring the show. We got free tickets for your ma to go out.
exactly,
she's
Mom.
taking a
Enjoy
trip.
the trip.
Yeah.
We got her trip out to California.
Yeah,
So
from Expedia. No, that's great.
hey, we are lacking a little bit of internet service. So bear with us, man. We're just
Here we go.
having a beer of the week.
Got a beer of the week.
Maximilian, crack me open some of that
Oh.
shit, man.
You know I'm gonna. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
buddy.
I like
Yeah.
beer 'cause it is good.
I really like
drink
it.
beer because I should.
It's really
If
good.
there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you bring. I drink beer when I am sad.
Sad.
'Cause the beer, it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer.
I want a motherfucking
Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! It's so
Hell yeah, man. We have got an interesting name of a beer from a pretty cool sounding brewery. We have from Cigar City Brewing, we have Jai Alai India Pale Ale.
Jai man.
So that's JAIALAI. This is again from Cigar City Brewing out of Florida. This is
Oh.
it's the Tampa. It's on Tampa in Tampa, excuse me. So it's on the Gulf Coast there.
Tasty, man.
And let's talk a little bit about Cigar City Brewing. Let me get a little sip here, quick.
Yeah, tell me a little bit. I've never heard of this place. Digging the can.
Not bad. Not
Digging the
bad.
beer too, man.
Yeah, I like the colors.
It's a little potent.
It is potent.
Hey. Cheers, buddy.
Hell yeah,
Cheers,
man.
buddy.
Cheers,
Big day,
brother.
big day. Cheers to everybody listening.
This one's for you. But yeah, let's get into a little bit about Cigar City Brewing. So, steeped in the unique culture and history of Tampa, Florida, Cigar City Brewing began handcrafting award-winning beer in 2009. Cigar City Brewing's ales are lager and cigars. Man, I cannot read today. Cigar
It's not me,
City
buddy.
Brewing's ales and lagers bring to mind the sun and citrus for which Florida is known, while taking cues, from the cigar industry upon which Tampa was built. Behind all of Cigar City Brewing's liquid is the philosophy that quality is achieved by giving first-rate ingredients to first-rate people. Then why are they giving it to us in a space where they are free to pursue their passion? Hey, we're in a space pursuing our passion. So
that is
thanks,
what we're doing,
Cigar
man.
City.
Shout out.
Born in Tampa. Yeah. So and a little bit about the beer we're drinking. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Jai Alai India Pale Ale. The merry game of Jai Alai provides inspiration for this citrus-forward India Pale Ale with notes of clementine, orange peel, and caramel malt, creating an IPA that's both bold and approachable.
And they mentioned Jai Alai being a game. So what I'm reading, it seems it's like it says it's like the fastest played game in the world, and it looks a lot like racquetball. So it says Jai Alai is a sport involving a ball that is bounced off of a wall space by accelerating it to high speeds with a handheld wicker, which is like a racket, basically.
Okay.
It is a variation of Basque pelota, the term coined by Serafin Bora in 1875, which is often loosely applied to the fronton where the sport is played. A lot of words, but basically it's like it looks exactly like they're playing in a racquetball court, but so you know that like the backyard or beach game where it's like a curved little and you just like that's kind of what the rackets are kind of look like. So you can see that guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've seen people play that before.
So that's what this. So I wonder if they're big Jai Alai players out there in Tampa.
Must be. It must be. I wonder if it's also like whichever ethnicity is more dominant in Tampa. I wonder if that's like Jai Alai or is that ethnicity's game.
Oh,
whatever.
I mean, you can see him playing right on the can.
Can you?
Yeah, check it out.
Oh, sure. They're throwing hops.
Tossing hop.
Okay, yeah, cool. Very cool.
Very
this
cool,
is a
can,
man.
dude.
Yeah, the green and orange. I mean, Florida colors. You know, the Miami Hurricanes. You know.
Yeah, dude, and it's a good beer. It's like super subtle, just
brewed with 6 hop varieties. All right. I wish they would say it's a 7.7 ABV. So
doesn't tell you.
Excuse me, 7.5 ABV. 65 IBUs, which we figured out what that meant last week, and I already forgot. So good.
Oh yeah, me too. But
good for us,
those IBUs, man, they'll get you. So it doesn't say what the kind of hops are.
It doesn't, not on the can at least.
Oh well, let me.
They got it on their website.
Native. Okay, did you read it? Did you know native to the Basque region of Spain? The game of Jai Alai involves players launching a ball from a curved mitt called a cesta, C-E-S-T-A.
Cesta, yeah.
Cesta, in an attempt to outsmart and outmaneuver their opponents on a court called a fronton. Native to Tampa, Florida, Jai Alai IPA is a bold, citrusy, balanced India Pale Ale that involves 6 different hop varieties. Used generously in a 7.5 ABV beer. Did you read this yet? Was this something you read?
I didn't read what you just read, no.
Okay, perfect. Then I will continue. I don't want to repeat what's okay.
Keep going, man.
Well, the number of frontons in our home state of Florida has dropped since the sport's peak in the mid 1980s. So it was back when they were fucking partying it up. You know, it's the world's fastest game apparently.
Right.
So they needed the world's fastest vitamin to get them through it in the 80s.
That'd be some
The old
IPA.
sugar, the old
sugar.
The old siesta, the old. Well, the number of has dropped since in the 1980s. Cigar City Brewing pays homage to the sport and the dedication to the players and the patrons who keep this Florida tradition alive with the flagship ale. All right, so let's get some details. Cool. Let's tell you what kind of hoppies are in here. The intense bouquet of tangerine and candied orange peel entices the nose, while flavors of clementines, oranges, and subtle caramel provide a counterpoint to an assertive bitterness and rich malt character. All right. Does not tell me the hops. So whatever, we're gonna continue.
Yeah. All right. Well,
hey, what a history behind a beer. I've never drank a beer that was named after a kind of dying tradition. It kind of seems like.
And you said the sport comes from Spain, right?
Spain,
okay.
yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Cool, man.
Seems like a Spain game.
Cool. We got this beer from local Meyer.
Shout out Meyer.
They got a lot of different kinds.
Shout out Auntie Diana.
Yeah.
Getting us the
Darsky. Thank you. Cool, man.
Just do a regular rating of 1 through 10.
1 through 10 again.
I think that's a better way. I mean, we'll get once Packer season's right around the corner.
Packer season, and we also want to give our beer 1 through 10.
Yeah, because that's something like people who are listening, can really pinpoint how good our beer is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We don't want it to be a subjective thing.
Yeah.
We want it to be more of an objective
we're
thing.
gonna rate this off Packer punters from the 1940s.
Right. And we could go all day about that.
Oh, God,
we could have a whole 5-hour
Sean
episode.
Malinsky and
God.
Dan Dropford and
Trent and O'Malley. Those guys
had some legs on them.
They could boot a ball like you've never seen
booted balls in your life.
Before.
Hey, so what did we drink last week? We drank
we were drinking. Was it the Lakefront Brewery?
Yeah, Lakefront. No. The Zambaldi Yard Games.
Yard Games, yeah.
That we got. I gave it like a 5 point something.
Yeah, and I gave it
pretty
just
low.
a
Pretty.
6.
Not a bad beer. Not a good beer. Wasn't a good beer to me.
Just an average IPA.
This super subtle, but
a little something extra to it.
Like good flavor, just like kind of what I like, what I enjoy.
It's like on the verge of being a hazy, but it's not quite.
It's got
IPA.
the kick, the initial fizz and feeling in your mouth, but like in the taste,
right?
Pretty a
little more pungent
right away, but then like the aftertaste fades away nicely.
Yeah, no, it's good. I definitely think it's more enjoyable than last week's.
Yeah,
it just brings like the can said with the clementine and the orange.
Yeah,
you get a little bit more flavor variety. It's not just so hop forward and hop driven. You're getting a little bit more.
You can really.
Like the can said, notes of citrus. And
yeah, you can really pick your flavors out of it. And
yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good beer.
Yeah, not bad.
It's good beer.
Not too shabby.
Cheers to bottling our own Darsky today.
Bottling our own today, and cheers to if anyone's out there watching.
Yeah, hey, much love to everybody who continues to listen. I know there are fans who do follow us along and keep up with our bullshit rambles and just everyday nonsense, man.
Yeah, no. Thanks.
But
thanks to everyone. But no, we're doing this, again, this is for us. This is something we've always wanted to do, doing things we've always wanted to do. It started with us doing jiu-jitsu, and now we're brewing beer.
Oh.
And I think this is a little more up our alley.
A little bit. Yeah, I'm not much for the
We'll get into
sip, sip.
We can get into taekwondo later.
Okay.
But
so let's give this a rating, man.
Let's brew some beer.
Let's
rate some beer.
Oh, you're a little
let's rate some
over
beer.
there.
We brewed it already. We just now.
So I'm gonna play a little tune while we think.
Okay.
Because this little jingle is called "What You Thinking."
What you thinking?
Maximilian.
Oh.
This is episode 29. It's time for a rating. Get that brain moving. Get your liver boozing. Get your rating choosing.
No.
Episode.
Beer
of the week. It's the beer of the motherfucker. It's the beer of the week. It's the beer of the week. Beer of the week. All right, one more drink.
Some beer.
Oh,
Look
get a little
inside that
groovy.
can.
Shout
Tell
out
me
to
what
whoever made
hops you
this song.
tasting?
Get a little wasted. Hops I'm tasting.
What kind of my barley are you
If
drinking?
I drink too much, I might be naked.
Oh, please no.
All right, I'm going to give it a 7.32.
Oh, 7.32.
Good rating. I like the beer. This really fits my taste buds, man. This is like I enjoy this beer a lot.
Yeah,
and I really do.
I'm pretty close. I'm going to give it a 7.18.
Oh, hey, dude, that's a tasty Tarski.
It is, man. It is a good beer. Yeah, I can't give it over to 7.2. I couldn't get over 7.2.
No, you weren't. It just wasn't there for you.
Yeah, but still 7.18. Good grade for me. 7.32 for you.
Not too shabby.
Not
we're
too
gonna
shabby,
we're
good
gonna
beer.
Yeah. So one more time, this is what we think it's pronounced. Jai Alai.
Jai Alai from Cigar City Brewing out of Tampa, Florida.
And Jai Alai is a game that is like racquetball,
But
From-
faster.
from Spain.
Right.
We're going to get on to a little bit of beer history and mosey on down to Bottling Town.
Yep.
And we're just going to shoot the shit a little bit.
Crank that.
Maximilian
Get it
picked
going,
out a
get-
tasty treat, y'all.
Yep.
I like beer cause it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you bring. I drink beer when I am sad, cause the beer it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer.
Beer.
Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! And stop!
Yes, it is.
Hell yeah. Max, do you think you could guess what the first IPA was? You guess that?
What do you
The
mean?
first modern American IPA.
What do you mean? What it was? It wasn't.
Who, what, where, what was the
Oh,
name?
who,
When it
where.
was created.
See, that's funny because you told me this before we started. and
Yeah, I told you about
already
5 minutes
forgot.
ago. I did too, actually.
I'm gonna guess the first IPA was brewed in 1963.
All right. Well, let's find that out. All right, and I'm gonna share a couple of these. I'm gonna share 2 of them. Yeah, I'm gonna share 2. So this is a little beer history for all y'all motherfuck listening to this podcast. First modern American IPA. 'Twas the Anchor Liberty Ale, a single hopped, dry hopped West Coast IPA before there was such thing as a West Coast IPA.
No kidding.
Remember, this was first released in 1975.
75.
Ooh.
What did I say? 63.
63.
12 years too soon.
Oh, son of a bitch. Anchor's Liberty Ale still features Cascade hops. Perhaps the only way the beer's changed in the last 40 years is that it's now currently available in cans. And obviously, the high watermark in the existence of the Liberty Ale is that it was selected as one of America's 25 essential IPAs.
So what city was it brewed in? Does it say?
It nope.
Liberty. I'm guessing like what is it? Like
San
Philadelphia?
Francisco.
Ah, okay.
Yep, San Francisco.
1975. Huh?
Yep,
That's that's the first ever IPA was 1975.
First modern American IPA
Modern.
brewed on the 18th of April in 1975.
Ah, we missed IPA day.
Oh, son of a bitch. We'll mark the calendars.
Mark the calendar.
You know, I'm going to give you a few here because these are pretty interesting facts, and I like these. So, beer cans debuted way back. When do you think beer cans,
the first beer can?
No, like when beer was first canned. So yeah,
so the
I
first
guess.
can of beer.
First, yeah.
Well, okay, and first can of beer. 1924.
Beer cans debuted way back in 1933.
Oh, I was okay.
Before
Well,
a guy
9
named
years.
Kruger terrorized the suburban children and me in their dreams, there was a brewery with the same name in Newark, not New York, Newark,
Newark.
New Jersey.
New Jersey,
That teamed up with a canning company to package Kruger Special Beer. Sadly, that beer had only 3.2 ABV. Little weak. I could use that some days.
It's like water.
Which means it could have been around 7% more delicious.
That's a 10%. That's a 10% ABV beer right there.
But that's
Wowza.
all the law allowed back then. Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
interesting.
Bless your lucky stars, you're alive in 2016. So this is a decently old article.
Yeah, but man, back then a 3-point something ABV beer would get you messed up. if
Yeah,
you're not
back then
used
we
to-
started drinking when you were like 8. So when you're 8, a couple of
Right, and if your body's not used to these 7% ABV beers,
man, it's
all
like
you need is like 4 of those 3%, and you're to the moon, baby.
dude, it's like everything these days.
Right.
Our vitamins are just extremely out of this world potent. Our beers, we have like 12% ABV beers these
Hey,
days.
man, you got to get it now. You got to get it fast. You got to get it immediately.
I want one beer and I want to be bombed.
Right.
So, a little close to home here. This one is. You mind if I just read a couple of these?
Hey, read a couple. I'm gonna while you're reading, I'm gonna head up to the old
Oh,
you
the
know,
old, you know,
HUA restroom.
yeah, oh yeah, the baño. All right. Well, Max is gonna leave me. Well, I'm gonna read you a couple more facts. This one's a little close to home, man. This one's a little near and dear to our heart because we are from the fine state where this comes from. Schlitz invented the brown bottle. I had a brown bottle around here, but invented the brown bottle and the tall boys. Thank you, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Thank you, Schlitz, because I do love a good tall boy, and I know you guys do too. Sorry. Despite the fact, I'm going to bring this phone over yond. Despite the fact that you're more likely to see Schlitz in a can out in the wild than a bottle, back in 1911, things were different. The Milwaukee-founded brand was the first to block out the sun via a brown bottle, which keeps your beer as fresh as possible until you pour it into a glass. Schlitz also invented the tall boy, likely to ensure that people would have something fun to carry around in a tiny paper bag, because nothing looks more cool and fancy than drinking a Tarski, a tall boy, a Schlitz out of a brown paper bag on the corner of a Milwaukee street. Not a bad fact. Not a bad thing. I mean, another thing that makes Wisconsin the best state in the United States. I mean, what's better than a fresh beer and a tall boy? So Max, now that Baldy's back, I'm gonna say this one more time because it is a good fact to repeat. Looks like you got a little snack on the way down.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, Schlitz
Schlitzy, huh?
invented the brown bottle and tall boys.
What color was the bottle before brown?
Clear.
Clear, huh?
Despite the fact, and the listeners already heard this, so you're a little late, but I'll repeat it for
Hey,
you.
my bad. Sorry.
Despite the fact that you're more likely to see Schlitz in a can out in the wild than a bottle, back in 1911, things were different. The Milwaukee-founded brand was the first to block out the sun, so that's what the brown bottle does, blocks the sun out.
So it stays colder longer.
No. Keeps your beer as fresh as possible.
So it doesn't get all skunky on you.
Yes, until you pour it into a glass. Schlitz also invented the tall boy, likely to ensure that people would have something fun to carry around in tiny paper bags. And that's what makes Milwaukee the classiest city out there.
In the fucking world.
That's what I'm saying, dude. All right,
Schlitz, just
one more.
Just
and then-
innovators for the beer drinkers. Always thinking of their consumers. Want to make sure their beer stays fresh the longest. Want to make sure that they can drink the most beer, the most comfortable. God, I love Schlitz.
I was telling these guys, I was like, nothing better than having a nice tall boy in a paper bag on the corner of a nice Milwaukee street. You know what I mean?
Hey, I've been there.
I've been there plenty of times.
I've been there.
I've drank beers out of paper bags under bridges with homeless people back in my freshman year of college. We had our buddy,
Yeah.
shout out, I can't remember your name, Emilio.
Emilio!
Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
he's still alive. He was doing well.
Yeah, Milwaukee's yeah,
It's an interesting place, man.
Had some times in Milwaukee.
Had some, he got in a little tussle with the old Irish mob down
That's
there.
a story for another day.
All right. Well, last one, just because this seems interesting. I guess Smutty Nose. Smutty Nose's sexy sounding brewery name has a creepy backstory.
No shit, huh?
It's not often obvious. It's not often obvious what your favorite brewery name is named after. For example, Dogfish is not named after the sea creature named Dogfish. It's a place in me where founder Sam Coloni spent his summers.
That'd be not Memphis. That'd be Maine.
Maine. Place in my heart, you know what I mean?
Maine.
Maine. All right, place in Maine where founder.
Good
All right, that place was named after, and that place was named after the sea creature, but
named after me. Named after. It was probably in both caps too. Capital M, capital E. Named after me.
Yeah. This place was named after me, where founder. Okay. But we digress. Smutty name. Jesus Christ. The fuck is going on down here? Smutty Nose. I've never heard of Smutty Nose Brewery, but
hey, let me tell you what.
Smutty Nose is named after an island off the New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Look at me.
New Hampshire.
Geography reading, not my strong suits. New Hampshire coast where a double murder happened in the 1870s. Plenty of other brewery names aren't obvious either, so we complied a bunch of other.
Yeah, let's name a beer after an island that had an infamous double murder. That's cool.
Maybe that guy was brewing good beer before he killed them folk.
Or maybe he was brewing good beer and then was killed.
Oh, sons of bitches.
Shit. What?
Fuck New Hampshire.
It's a mystery only God knows. All right, so those are the beer facts, man. Those are good ones.
Yeah, man. We had some
Appreciate
beer
you looking those
facts.
up.
We had beers of the week. I mean, it's episode 29. Happy to be here.
2-9, brother.
Hey,
cheers to that.
Almost to the old 30. Almost getting old.
30. Hey, yeah.
The old dirty 30.
Let's not talk about 30.
Yeah, you're getting pretty close to 30.
Right there.
Hey, I'm peeking around the corner. Couple blocks back.
Oh, you're so young yet. You're just a little one yet.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not when old people tell me I'm young. I get that I'm young compared to you, but compared to me, I feel old. So you can shut the fuck up.
You've lived 10 years 3 times on this earth.
Look at the big brains on Carl. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you need another one, buddy. Ayo! Nice shot.
Scoresies.
Nice shot.
So, you want to get just down to the gritty?
We got
Down
a fun
to the gritty
episode,
nitty?
man. Let's get into it. We are bottling, for all those watching on YouTube, we are bottling our beer that we have brewed. It is fermented exactly 2 weeks. Exactly 2 weeks ago, we put the wort into our fermenter, and it is now fermented for 2 weeks, and we can begin the bottling process anytime now.
Hell yeah, dude! And when we so throughout these 2 weeks, we had a good amount of wort on top, but it's all kind of settled down.
What do you mean by like wort, as in like the foam shit, or?
Well, was that sediment at the top?
Everything we put in here was wort.
Well, no, I was saying like we had the buildup on the bottom and the top, but it seemed like everything kind of just sunk down to the bottom. It seems like everything's pretty nice and settled.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. And so we definitely put too much sediment in.
Yeah.
there probably should be about half of the amount that's in here, I would guess. Maybe 3/4 of the or a quarter of the amount.
And explain just one more time to the listeners, since we can't move this and we can't move you
Right.
because you are taped to something. So
Right.
explain what wort is one more time for the listeners.
So the wort is what, and I could be off slightly here.
Yeah, it's fine.
But it is basically, when we boiled we steeped the grains.
Yep.
And then we boiled in hops. We added in, we steeped the grains. We added in the malt extract, which boiled.
Yep.
And that is technically wort.
Okay.
And then as it boiled, we added in hops. And then towards the end of the boiling process, you add more hops. And then when the boiling process is over, you stop it boiling, you add more hops. And based on when you add hops, that's what makes it a hazy versus a non-hazy IPA.
So the earlier you add your hops to a beer, that's what's going to make it like a IPA, an extra IPA, because that's what makes then the it's going to be stronger. Those hops are really going to pop out more and be more dense.
Exactly.
In the flavor.
So if you're adding hops towards the end of the boiling process, it's just going to pick up on like the main notes of those hops. It's not going to really get a super pungent taste from those hops. It's just going to grab the citrus or whatever that main flavor from that hop is, and that's what makes it hazy, because it's just grabbing, those the accentuating flavors. It's not grabbing the full flavor of the hop. It's grabbing those accentuating flavors, and that's what's going to make it hazy, because it just gives it different flavors. So yeah, that's what we put in here, and when it boiled down, I guess, getting back to what you said, and we took it from off the boil from the pot, and we transferred the wort from the pot into the fermenter. We weren't supposed to get so much sediment, so that's some of the grains that we steeped. That's the malt extract that we boiled in. Those are the hops that we added in, and they kind of, you get those flavors, and the hop sediment settles to the bottom. We weren't supposed to get so much of the settlement into our fermenter.
So how could we have avoided that?
I really don't
filter. Could we have filtered it in? Do you want to filter it in, or do you want some of that wort in the fermenting beer so it does grab a little more flavor out of it? You think?
Well, because I think. So again, we've got. I'm really interested to see how this goes, because I don't think it's going to pull from the bottom so much.
No, it's definitely going to pull from the top, right?
Right. So I think we'll be able to watch it, and as it gets lower, so like once we get down to, little under a quarter of the way,
then we're going to kind of have to start watching. I mean,
right, and then we can start deciding on. But again, if we start and it's pulling in a bunch of sediment,
then we'll do one bottle or two.
Yeah, and we'll just see. But we'll be able to watch through the hose as our well, this is beer now. I mean, and we got beer now. This is no longer.
So you guys are going to be able to follow us through this process as we're doing it, and you'll be able to tell if we're getting sediment through the siphon or not. So I mean, this could be a smoother process, or we're going to have to go into a little more of detail on getting that sediment out, which we were not gifted, but borrowed a colander
and a strainer.
Yeah.
Like a colander cloth to put in our colander just in case we need to use that.
Yep. But I mean, it's basically see what happens.
But yeah, so I think can you grab that folded piece of paper
Absolutely.
right behind you? Yep. Perfect. All right. So before we got to where we're at right now, what we had to do was do a lot of sanitizing, and we did that before we started recording, just for,
just so we can.
I mean, all we did was mix a cleansing solution and then we took all the equipment we're using today, and we just dunked it in the cleansing solution and let it dry.
Yep.
And now we're able to use it. We did have to soak the tube,
Siphon tube.
to the bottling tube, which is the top tube. But we had to soak the siphoning tube in hot water for about 30 seconds to a minute, just so it got loose enough to fit over our bottling tube.
So now we got a nice tight fit, nice tight seal on the top of that bottling device.
Yep. And so yeah, we decontaminated, and basically we are ready to start the final bottling day processes, which basically is just hooking up our siphoning tube to our spigot here.
Yep.
And then we're gonna get. First we got to add our fizz drops to each bottle. So let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's get our bottles out. Let's get the fizz drops out.
We'll show you 1 or 2 drops, right? You know, kind of show you what we're doing, and then kind of skip ahead to the process.
Yeah. So if you want to grab those fizz drops and bottles and bring them over here,
bitching in the kitchen, man. This is the starting of the bottling process, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thanks for just hanging out with us. This is an exciting day.
Yeah, this is. I really can't believe, I remember we were driving up to Florence for episode 25, just talking about brewing our own beer, and this is what we'd start doing. And
now we're here, man.
We are brewing, or we have brewed. We're about to start bottling, and the first thing we have to do is priming our bottles, which is getting our fully decontaminated bottles, ready to be filled with beer, which means we have to add 1 fizz drop to each bottle. And these fizz drops almost just look like cough drops. Kärel's going to hold, those are the decontaminated bottles, and now he's going to hold up the fizz drops. Yeah, man. Yeah, they kind of look like cough drops there. So let's get into it. We got 12 bottles of beer. We are going to be adding 1 fizz drop to each bottle of beer. We can just leave them. Yeah, leave them right in there, and we'll just.
So we just plop 1 of these babies into each bottle and get bitty, yo. This is the bottling process, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 29. We're bottling some motherfucking beer.
Hell yeah. All right, let's do it.
All right, Max, drop 1 on the ground. That one goes to one of our lucky listeners who comments first.
Hey, maybe if since.
Okay. Hey, real quick, we have to keep track of what ones we've dropped them into. Okay.
Good call.
Take whatever one you drop 1 into. Okay. So let's start with rows. Let's go by rows here. I got 1 here. You want to drop 1 into Yond?
Yeah.
We tend to be a little forgetful once in a while, you know what I mean?
We get a little excited.
We'll have 1 good bubbly fizzy beer, 1 that's flat.
We get a little too excited, and we add a couple too many fizz drops, maybe. No, I was going to say this fizz drop is maybe a part of our weekly challenge failure.
Oh,
like grid option. I don't know.
Eating 1?
Yeah, we might both have to eat 1.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we shouldn't.
We'll get into that. We're dropping fizzies into bottles. Yeah, make it wild. Okay, this one's got 1.
This one's good.
This one's good, man. So we got the fizzies dropped in.
We got extra fizz drops for.
I bet those are like high potency cough drops, man. Whenever you got a hard throat, fizz up throat, man.
All right, so we have primed our bottles. So priming, according to the instructions, was just adding 1 fizz drop to each bottle. Okay, bottling, man, here we go. All right, I'm just gonna read through the instructions first, just so we can visualize it in our brains. Yeah, put it right down on the bottom there. You're good. Hell yeah. All right, so with the fermenter above your bottles, check. Insert the bottle filler into the bottle. Depress the tip of the bottle filler While ensuring the spigot is in the open position, beer will begin to flow into the bottle. Let gravity fill the bottle, taking care not to splash. Fill the bottle to the top, which will leave about 1 inch of headspace in the neck of the bottle once you remove the filter. All right, so we got to make sure that there's about 1 inch of headspace in the bottle.
Okay.
Basically, all we're looking with this in the bottle, that there's 1 inch of headspace in the bottle. Basically.
Okay. Okay. So when we're filling?
Oh no! Excuse me. I misspoke already. Once we remove the filter, we want to have at least 1 inch of headspace.
All right.
So we're probably gonna play around with a bottle or two here, and then place a cap on top of the bottle and set it aside. So once it's like done, we just put a cap on it so we know it's
all right. And then so the whole capping process is after we get everyone filled. All right.
All right. So then, yeah.
Let's get bitty, dog. Let's get this tube back right on the spigot and get jiggy with it. Let's try and keep it so the peeps can kind of see.
Absolutely.
So Max is gonna de-headphone. I'm going to keep on the mic, and then Max will do one. I'll do one. We'll get jiggy with it. We'll get weird. So right now Max is putting the tube on to the spigot. Might have to warm it up, you think? All right, we got it on. Max has got it on. Things are getting crazy, man. We're getting beer into the bottles. It's a good day to be us. Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us through this process of bottling beers, dude. All right, so we're getting the caps out. We got them cleaned. We got them covered. I'll get my Tarsciano out of the way. All right. Let's see what happens, man. Let's do it. Oop, maybe it's not open. Maybe, do you want the... All right, that is it. All right. Do you want the tube kind of going down or no? All right, here we go. Max is filling bottle 1. I'm looking in the tube. I don't see really much sediment. How's she feeling, bud? She's filling. All right, we're filling up beer. We're filling beer. I've never siphoned gas before, so I'm not really sure how the process goes. Max is getting angled. Oh, do we have to take this top off? Let's try that, because there's no way to get air down. This? Hey, all right, first beer's getting filled up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, here we go. The first bottle of the Kama Citra HUA Hazy IPA filling up nicely. I'm pretty excited to try our own beer that we brewed. Oh my goodness, man. Alright, a little more. Right there. A little more, a little moss. I think that's about, yeah. All right. Hey, all right, I'll toss you a cap. Look at that, bud. Nice, dude. Right on, right on. Get
Get yours out. Get
All right,
yours
here we
out,
go.
man. Get a bottle out. Hell yeah, it's a very interesting process. Put it all the way down there. And yeah, really, we've got this pretty cool little, bottle filler. It's connected to our siphoning tube, which is connected to our spigot, and you press the bottom of this bottling device to the bottom of the bottle, which pushes up a little spring, which I'm guessing, kind of opens up once like the spring pushes up high enough, it opens up a little airway passageway for the beer to flow in through and into the bottle. And it is a little slower than I thought. I'm not sure if it's because we have it up too high. Oh,
I'm finding that if you don't press it all the way down, just give it like a half press.
Half press. All right.
She fills a little faster.
Pretty cool. I basically filled mine almost up to the top and then pulled it out. Yeah, right there. And then held it upside down. Yeah, man. Cool.
Beer 2.
Yeah, beer 2. We should oh yeah, no, never mind.
All right.
Hell yeah, dude. We're doing it, man. We're bottling some beer.
We
this
are
is
bottling
cool,
beer
man.
right
this
now,
is really
dude.
cool.
Let me get
Holy
you a bottle.
shit.
Get down and dirty, dog. Oh, man, this is awesome, dude. You know what? For good old time's sake, dude, and a good shout-out to our buddy Deck, let's play a little Decker Pollinari tunes for y'all. If I can find them, I should have them still. We'll check it out. We'll see what we got. Ooh. Maybe not. That's all right. We'll get back. We'll get jiggy with it. Yeah. Man, we've been waiting. This is long awaited. This is good. This is exciting. So we got beer number 3 getting bottled. You think kind of getting that halfway push down worked out? Sorry, I was bringing the mic down by it for some reason. Wow, you did it fast. Nice. So we're not exactly sure. Ooh, smells good too. All right.
No, I did a full press down, and I thought that worked, pretty well, honestly. I did a full press, and I thought that worked. It's really cool, man. Like, this is gonna be our 4th bottle, and we've already taken a big chunk out of our fermenter here. I just hope we at least get 6 bottles out of this.
We'll definitely get 6.
We're getting some sediment coming through, just a little bit.
Little bit. I'll drink those ones.
You can kind of see it coming from the top. It's kind of interesting, honestly. And I'm not sure if, it's supposed to come from the top too much. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Beer number 4.
On the way.
In the books. Put the cap on that. I also like how we're, just from my OCD perspective, everyone is pretty much at the same level. So
dude, yeah, if they weren't, it'd bug the shit out of me.
Right?
So it's an exciting day, dude. We're getting our beer bottled. We're gonna actually get our first game of bag toss in for the weekly challenge. We did fail on our last week's weekly challenge. So we're gonna talk about that later, but
We'll talk about that later. We gotta bottle some beer right now.
this is fucking
you know,
sweet,
I'm too
dude.
excited. I don't want to be bogged down with.
Well, it's not. I'm not bogging. I'm not bogging.
I'm a little bummed, but you know, ooh, a lot of sediment coming through. A lot of sediment coming through on bottle number 5. That's okay. We're still alive.
All right. So yeah, as we kind of wind down, start to get a little more sediment. Max, what do you think about trying to mix some sediment out, or do you think we just keep her moving?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, I feel like the farther we get, the more we're gonna. And if we do get it out, then we'll have more like drinkable quality beer.
What do you think we do though? That's because I don't want to empty this all out
And fuck it up.
I honestly, because right now we're getting sediment from the top. If we were getting sediment from the bottom, I would say let's think of something.
I mean, one thing, if you kind of look at this, I don't know if we're going to be able to really get much sediment from the bottom just because of where the spigot is located. So
right. So
I do. Okay,
personally, I'm okay with some of the stuff from the top getting in.
What do you think about this? Quick, but it also may clog tube. If I don't know if it's possible. I was saying if there's some sort of way to maybe like cover the tube, like filter tube top. These are ideas. This is all idea. I don't think
you can see some of it in there. So like if we let's get
one more.
Let's get 6 done.
Okay.
Let's get 6 done, and then because I think what we can do is we can take that colander, put the cloth in it, put this tube right into the colander, press down, and see what fills into the bottle, if anything. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's get number 6 done.
But let's get. I think we should get 6 done personally.
I do too.
And then, because at least we'll have 6, like for sure, bottled, sediment,
whatever.
And then, yeah, I definitely think we should try to filter some of it out, especially as we get closer to the point of no return here. But man, what a interesting,
badass, dude.
Interesting process, especially just from the mechanism of bottling. The spring operated tool we're using is pretty cool. It's kind of gravity filling, essentially.
Well, okay, I want to think about this though. How much sediment do you think is really getting out?
What do you mean? Oh, because it's
look at that hole
stuck at the bottom.
Maybe it's catching some of it. I don't know.
Maybe. No, it very well could be, because I don't know how it would get through there. The sediment's pretty thick.
Well, look, it's all building right here.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so we're not even getting any sediment in our bottles right now. Good call. And if we are, it's very minimal because it's just kind of...
You can see it building up.
Right. No, good call. I think we might be okay for a little while, honestly.
We might just have to clear the tube out.
Right. Exactly. Good call. I mean, we might be getting a little bit, but
I'm sure we'll have like some.
Not as much as I thought. Definitely not as much as I thought.
Yeah, because I'm looking through this, the piece that's connecting to the siphoning tube. Not a lot going through.
Not much getting through the
Not much at all, guy.
Ooh. Swoosh. Beautiful.
Look at how much is built up.
Oh, that is just it. So, what do you think? Just keep doing what we're doing? I think we just keep doing what we're doing.
I kind of have an idea.
Uh-oh.
Okay? And this is a shot in the dark.
Uh-oh.
Super shot in the dark, all right?
Uh-oh.
What if I can find, and if I quickly find, like, a piece of, like, a screen for a window, and you put it over the siphoning tube, and then put the tube over the top so it seals it, and then you have that perfect little screen there.
I get what you're saying. I do. And
I'm just trying to push things into your brain.
And it's a good idea. The only thing, this thing was a son of a bitch to get on. So if we add more if we like
add more to the
it just,
but also we have all this beer in here already. Then I don't know how we're gonna. I don't know how we take it out.
The minimal amount of sediment
Let's just
coming
keep
through.
bottling
Let's just keep going. I think if we notice a lot coming through the bottling device here,
then
we can say like if all of this that's collected right here started coming through, then we might have a problem. But I think we'll be okay.
Bottle and Brew number 7 here. So I think before we started recording, Max was thinking at least 8 beers out of this. I think we'll definitely get. I think we'll get 10. And I think, dude, the more this sediment builds up through the tube, the less it's going to get through. Hell yeah. So the Kama Citra is bottling right now. Our next step is to seal up the caps. And then we just let these bottles sit for 2 more weeks, huh? And then we can refrigerate them. Yeah. So this is fun. I mean, I can't wait to keep experimenting, get different ingredients. Like we came up with our own batch last week in episode 28.
You know, as the sediment is filling up in the tube, it is taking a little bit longer for these bottles to fill up. I'm kind of noticing.
Are you fully pushed?
I am.
Don't fully. Try loosening up a little bit, because then I found it filling faster.
See, and I was the opposite when I was doing it.
Look at me and Max. Stop. Oh, see, now it looked like not a lot of sediment. I might have to here.
It might be like clogged. It's moving slow.
Okay. Here.
It's slow. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
It's it's slowing down a little bit, but I think that's kind of part of it, and we're picking up a little bit here. About to pull out right. Oh no!
Oh,
Pulled her out just in the nick of time.
that a guy. Number 7, Don.
Number 7. I can't count.
All
right. Kärel's half press method in action.
See what happens here.
Let's see. Bottle number 8. Ooh, we're coming hot and heavy. Flowing fast, flowing strong. Coming out straight from the fermenter's dong.
Yeah, buddy.
We were doing poetry this week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Beer is good. Beer is nice. I like it better when it's on ice. Beer gets me drunk, makes me stumble. When I drink beer, I start to mumble.
Hey.
Fucking Shakespeare.
Fucking Bill Shakespeare over here.
Get a little slower on the old flodge.
Let's see. Should I give you a little?
Oh, yeah, give me a little tippy top.
Not as much sediment coming through, huh?
Slower process.
It is slowing down here. You can tell by like the sediment and how it's moving through the tube. It's moving slow. It's like a science experiment, you know?
Fucking A, right, bud?
Look at us, brewing beer, bottling beer, getting ready. We're here.
At a point, we might want to try. Okay, here, I'm going to put this down.
Let's get this one filled, and then we'll empty that tube out. Still slowly but surely. Is it moving or no?
It's going. I mean, even though it's going slow, I mean, the good part about this right now, we aren't getting sediment in the bottle.
We're not getting sediment in the bottle?
Because it is all clogging. We're flowing. It's filling, baby.
It's filling? All right, you keep doing this. I got to run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be...
Holy shit, usually I'm the one who breaks the seal, man. All right, so Max says he takes his 17th pee break of the episode. I'm filling bottle 8, I believe. Sediment's building up at the... I'm sorry, I'm sure you guys can't see me right now. The sediment is building up, so it's getting a little slower. But we are filling. I'm gonna have to put this mic down for a sec. I'll play some tunes, and I just gotta tip this jug.
Oh, yeah. Still working on number 8, huh? So, yeah, we're going to have to try to empty this out. Right now? All right. All right, so... what we're gonna want to do... Nope. Oh, yeah, good call. Good call. Good call. Okay. All right, hold on. Now, we're just going to have to let this settle for a second and just kind of let it be. Yeah, let me take this. Yeah, so we kind of pushed back the settlement that was caught in our tube, pushed it back into our fermenter a little bit just to clear our tube, and then we're going to let our fermenter settle again so we can get all the settlement, the particles and, you know, all the settlement back to the bottom, let it settle to the bottom so we have, you know, fresh beer to siphon into our bottles here. So we're just going to let it kind of take a minute here and let it settle again. You know, maybe give it 5-10 minutes to let let it settle, do its thing before we continue to bottle beer number 8. I'm not going to lie. I thought we'd get to about 8 beers, and then we'd start to have some problems. We're about 3/4 of the way through beer number 8, and we're running into just a couple hiccups, nothing crazy. I don't want to pat myself on the back, but Beer Stradamus over here maybe calling a shot. Anheuser, give me a call. That's all I got to say. We're having a great time brewing our beer. Episode 29. I always kind of, brewing beer was something, we kind of hoped maybe we'd get to eventually, but I didn't think we'd get to it this soon in our process here. A lot, I don't want to say easier than what I thought, but definitely not as time-consuming and as much, maybe math is involved or science, chemistry, whatever you want to call it. It's not. I thought it was a little bit more of an intimidating of a process, but it's really not too bad. And if anyone out there is interested in, wanting to just try brewing their own beer, find a kit. It's easy. Northern Brewer was a great place to start from.
Yeah, man, dude. Definitely a good place to check out.
They have I think they have 4 or 5 different kits as far as like beer styles. They have like a Caribou Slobber Ale, the Kama Citra IPA. I think they've got an Amber Ale. So really cool, really fun, interactive process that comes with all the stuff you need and kind of gives you the tools to maybe start and venture out on your own. We're going to figure that out here, in a few weeks, not a few weeks. Maybe eventually when we revisit brewing beer, we'll kind of do it our own way. But right now we are bottling the beer here. We are on bottle number 8. We have pushed some of the sediment that was clogged in our siphoning tube back into our fermenter, and we are letting our fermenter settle before we start getting into beer, or before we finish bottling beer number 8. Kärel, what have you thought about this process so far? What are your initial thoughts?
Definitely interesting, man. Fun. Good time. Definitely, I think the kit that we received, we ordered from Northern Brewer, made it easier. If we would have tried to just get our own equipment and try and figure out, the instructions were clear. It went so much smoother and simpler than I thought, man. I thought it was going to be some sort of crazy science, chemistry, crazy project.
Right.
And it is in a sense, but definitely a lot slicker than I thought it was going to be, man.
I mean, it's almost no different than boiling rice and adding some ingredients and then pulling your rice off and dumping the rice into a pot and then letting it chill.
Yeah.
And then, it's nothing more crazy than that. If you start with a kit, if we were just going off like Google, we were just like, hey, we just found some random.
How do I brew some goddamn Darskies?
We just had found some Joe Schmo out there who was like, this is my home brew recipe. Give it a shot. I think that would be tricky, but
yeah.
But this has definitely been a cool process.
I think we're settled as much as we can settle.
Getting pretty settled here. You want to continue bottling up bottle number 8?
Numero 8, all right.
Yeah, let's see how she goes. Spigot is open. And
want a tipper. Tad bit.
A little tip here. And we're starting. We are starting.
Definitely going to be a lot more sediment in this. Not too much.
Not too much, honestly, man. We're looking good. We're looking pretty good. A little bit,
It's just like drinking some orange juice with a little pulp in her, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. It's going to settle to the bottom for every beer.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's just going to be floating around, sitting at the top, and you're going to take swigs and get a big mouthful of, some hop grains or whatever it is. But pull out. Oh, yeah. Right on time.
Numero 8.
Hey,
Ocho in the book. Yeah,
number
man.
8. Look at that hazy IPA.
That is a hazy IPA, man.
Throw a bottle on, throw a cap on there.
Hey, we got 8 beers, boy.
Let's get number 9 going on, bud.
Hey, let's get frisky with it, bud. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. So we're flowing here.
So
number
for
9.
episode 31, probably 30. When are we gonna be drinking this? You think?
It's gonna be either 31 or 32. We have to let them sit in in bottles for 2 weeks before we can put them in the refrigerator.
Yeah. Then we want these
So,
babies nice and
we
ice
want 'em
cold.
ice cold. So maybe 2 weeks from now. So yeah, maybe episode 31, or excuse me, 3 weeks from now, episode 32 maybe.
Maybe me and Max will be slamming these Tarskis when we're about to go on stage to do a little stand-up comedy.
God, don't remind me, man.
It's an exciting time, man.
I was all gung-ho about it last week, 2 weeks before, and now I'm
What I learned today from a show I was watching is you got to come out strong. You got to come out loud and aggressive and confident, because the crowd will be able to tell that you're scared, that you're nervous. So you got to come out confident, speak loud, and believe in your own story when you're up there telling whatever comedy skit you want. You know what I mean? All right, number 9, filling up nice. This might.
Yeah, man, I've thought about that a lot, actually. I've thought a lot about, like, how do you don't want to go on stage and be like, oh, it's my first time, so everyone cut me some slack, here I am, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, people don't want to hear it's your first time. They want to hear you just try, and if you try and fail, fuck it.
Fuck it,
but
dude.
if you go up there and you're like, I'm probably going to suck, guys, because it's my first time, so don't be too hard on me.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no joke in that. Like, no
No.
one's laughing at you. The whole point of stand-up is to get people to laugh at you. And, I mean, I think the great ones get them to laugh with them.
Yeah.
But,
I mean-
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not trying to be a professional or anything. I just want to get up and try it. And I think, get them to laugh at me is good enough for me.
And what excites me is just the nerves the nerves are the worst part, but they're the best part for me, because it's like it's not often that you get to do something at the age getting older that really makes you nervous, but in like an exciting, thrilling way, like those butterflies. Like and that's something that's cool. It's something everybody should try and do every once in a while, whether it's hanging out with that girl you liked forever, that guy, or getting a new job or trying something new. I mean, it's the little thrills that keep your life young and exciting. And I'm pretty excited to try this out. I think this is going to be our last one. All right, look at this. Number 9. Feeling fine. I'm not really sure. I don't think we're really going to want to take any of that. What do you think, Maximilian? Toss this man a cap so he can talk.
My thought is, why not try? I mean, get the most out of it. We'll set the these ones to the side.
Yeah.
And we'll keep these 9 separate. Maybe we'll write 1 through 9, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12 are the ones we know we gotta like.
We could keep those caps clear, and then put X's on the.
Right.
Yeah, on the saucy ones.
Because there's a marker right over there, so yeah, we can do that. Because, I think we might as well try to get as much as we can out
You
of
are
it.
right, man. You're right.
Like, we might as well. Why
All right,
not?
I'm in it. I'm in it for the big call.
We are starting on bottle number 9.
10.
Or 10, excuse me. Bottle number 10.
God, my knees. A crack-a-lack in mine.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We out here making beer, man.
Oh, look at all that settlement pouring through. Oh, yeah, this might not be too great, but...
Oof.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
that's
Look at
sludge,
that.
bro.
That's just sludge coming through the pipe. Yeah, I think we're only going to get 9 out of this, huh?
I did, yeah.
Look at that sludge.
Yeah, no. Unless you wanted, like, loser of the week has to drink the sludge beer. Alright. Maybe since we, never mind. Not gonna say it.
We'll leave it up. We'll leave it out.
Tip that back. Oh, we pouring the Tarski's back in it from holy shit. That looks like my shit.
It really does look like some diarrhea, man. It's like you just ate some raw chicken and you're just...
Woo!
Good call. Close her up.
Close her up. All right, man.
I think, you know what I think we should do? I think we should each, get down below the other person holds it up, and we just press the little thing with our tongue, and...
I thought you were serious.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know.
All right, we'll see after one more beer of the week.
We'll see how she goes. No, hey, I mean, okay, so now... Ooh,
Uh-oh.
we got to figure out...
Capoloni down, man.
We gotta take a look at the rest of the bottling
All right,
process
well,
here.
Max, you start reading the process. I'm gonna open this space up a little bit so we can get
Yeah.
cap it.
Let's do it. All right, so let's see. Okay. Capping. Center the bottle capper over the cap on a bottle. Press straight down firmly on the capper's handles to seal the cap onto the bottle. Wipe the bottles with a dry towel and place the bottle in the storage box. Repeat the capping steps until all bottles have been sealed. All right. Doesn't seem too tricky. We've got our bottling, our fresh, cleaned capper over to the side right here.
All right, I do have a suggestion.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to do a dry run at this? Do a bottle without any beer on it?
Yeah, grab number 10.
Oh yeah, good idea. All right, let me grab a Capoloni.
And then, yeah, that's a great idea. We'll give 10 a shot that really didn't have really anything good in there. I think I might give a little sip just to... You all right with me taking a little sip, little swig? Yeah. Seeing what it's like.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I gotta figure this out and see what it's like. Interesting. It's not bad. Give it a shot. Just take a tiny little... It's.
I gotta say, with carbonation,
That's gonna be good, right?
I think, yeah,
That's
'cause
gonna be
that's
pretty
a lot
tasty.
of sludge. So
It's
like,
gonna be pretty tasty.
I thought you were bullshitting me,
No.
bro.
I was like, I mean,
Hey, dude, no, but
Not-
honestly, man,
not great,
With-
but
ice cold and carbonated.
it's gonna be tasty.
'Cause you gotta think the carbonation process takes 2 weeks.
2
so
weeks.
we didn't even get into that.
Right,
We,
we
just
got
got a
the
dry
straight,
bulb in there.
flat- Yeah.
All right. Well, let's try a
Let's
capping
try
process.
capping it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Give. All right. So Carl is gonna give this one a shot here. So this is the bottle that we were just taking a few random swigs out of. It was the bottom dregs of the. Oh yeah, good call. Throw these on too. It was the bottom dregs of the fermenter. We were taking a sip out of the bottle that we decided, probably should stop just the bottling process in general with this one because of, just
all the
sediment and nasty
Ooh,
Just knocked that off.
All right, so I'm going to kind of sit down while I do this so you great listeners can kind of see.
Step aside here, and we'll let Carl get into it. All right. Looks a little trickier than I originally thought, huh?
Not at all.
Hey, it's on there.
Super easy, man. This is
Pretty
magnetic.
easy,
Yeah, all you do it just nice and slow. Press it on. Clamp her down.
All right.
All right, here you go, bud.
All right, let's
do number one.
Let's try numero uno here.
All right, Max is going in for clampy number one. Let's we'll put it in the middle if you want to kind of stand to the side so the people can see. So this device, it's got a magnet. It's going to stick to the cap. Yep, so open it back. Yeah, clamp her down to title down, bud. Beer number one. Clamped buddy. Toss that in there. Oh, so should we toss logos on it?
Absolutely, we should toss.
All right, so this is how we're going to do this. Max will do one. I'll wipe it, toss a logo. I'll do one. You wipe it, toss a logo.
Let's do it.
All right, bud. Let's get groovy. Let's get moody. Let's get boozy. All right.
Hell yeah, man. We are drinking Jaya Live from Cigar City Brewing out of Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, man.
Well, we're we're bottling our own beer.
And now we're capping on mine.
And we're capping it now, man. We can't wait. Let's get it, man. We are we're going to be getting on to bottle number 2 here. We got to throw on, we got our Northern Brewer handcrafted beer logos that we're going to be throwing on. Exciting stuff, big time.
Big time, man.
Yeah, man. We are having fun, drinking our beer of the week, bottling our home brew, capping our home brew, labeling our home brew, and then it's going to sit for 2 weeks, and then we can throw it in the refrigerator and start drinking ourselves. We cannot wait to give it a shot. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, man, that's
pretty badass.
God, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
So,
Northern Brewer.
I think, on... Can you write on, though? It says...
Sure, we could write whatever we want on here, yeah.
All right.
There's a marker down there, right where the fermenter is. Fuck yeah, man. Write whatever you want. I don't know. You can go on here. You can go on the other side. Go like batch, date, style. You can write it all, man. I'm just gonna mark this. Just like one. HUA Hazy IPA from our buddies at Northern Brewer. It's looking good. Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Yep, Carl's on, gonna start bottling up, or start capping bottle number 2 here.
What a fun episode, man. We're gonna cap all these beers. probably sit for a second, both crack our last IPA, and then get into the next segment of our weekly challenge. While we're playing our tabletop bag toss, I'll show off the boards I made for the show. I'll tell a joke of the week, and then I think to end it, we're going to kind of bring in a little bit of a segment we wanted to start that we're just going to kind of touch into a little bit. And, yeah, we're going to get jiggy with it. Max marking bottle number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're hanging out with us still, man, thank you so much. Comment on our YouTube videos. Comment on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Let us know if you ever brewed a beer. Let us know what kind of beer you brewed. Let us know what kind of beer you want us to brew. If you have a beer of the week you want us to try, or a weekly challenge, a monthly challenge, anything, get in contact with us. If you just want to talk, whatever it is, man, we want to be a part of whatever you guys are doing, like you guys are with us. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Max is capping number 3. Capping process easier than I thought. This is wild. This is I never knew how this was done. Pretty fucking cool. Okay, all right.
Yeah, man. Real cool, real easy. I mean, again, it's made easier because of the kit we've got and just the tools that it came with. Like, I don't, if someone was just like, had a Google recipe, like a homebrew recipe, and they were like, hey, yeah, but you gotta, here's the ingredients you should get, here's the equipment you need, like, it'd be tough, just because I wouldn't know where to get a bottling capper from, or, whatever the fuck it's called. I wouldn't know where to get it, but Northern Brewer really made it pretty fun, simple.
Dude, it did, and I will definitely be, I think we as a team will be going through them for our ingredients, and and hopefully it'd be cool to kind of branch off into like the beer community, see what other people do, and
absolutely
where they go, and what kind of processes they have.
Because we know some people that have brewed their own beer, and I would love to talk with them and kind of get their brewing process and understand how they do it. We've got some relatives that grow their own hops for their own beer. Would love to talk with them about that process and just how they grow hops, if there's a difference between growing hops and other vegetables or herbs that they've grown previously. But yeah, no, really, really fun process, and just kind of trying to make it our own here. And yeah, man. Yeah, man. Ooh, hazy IPA, man. Yeah, so fun process, and just fun times in general. I think, if you have a significant other that you both enjoy beer, you have, a kid who's, of age, or you have a father, a parent who enjoys brewing beer or enjoys beer in general, like, this would be a really fun thing to do with them, and just kind of do as a little side project.
Hell yeah, man.
So yeah, man, having a great time.
And Max, feel free to just, after the HUA hazy, write whatever you want on there, man. Like fuck the Bears, or go Pack, or we're yeah, man. It's a beautiful day to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget that we're out here brewing Tarskies, getting gnarly. And so happy to have you all here with us. It's fun. I mean, I know we're falling super hard into this, into the beer process right now, and I'm happy we are, bringing beer history to the show. Like I said, if you guys have any beer facts, fun facts for us that you want us to share, just want to share with us, feed them in, man. Right now we're at Traveling Stew. We're out at a different site, and we're just having fun. Hell yeah, dude. Enjoy the beautiful tunes. I can't wait to play a little tabletop big DOS, the first round of it. Hey, I like it. Right on. So, yeah, and eventually I think me and Max plan to get to the point where we're brewing different types, some ales, some pilsners, whatever, and hopefully at some point be able to put these out and give them to some of you guys, you know? Max got the book.
Yeah, definitely.
Max got the diary out.
What I wanted to grab was what we went through last week with, Kärel's doing his process here of putting the label on and writing something fun. Just what we came up with for our own beer recipe last week. I just want to get back into it because we had I know it might have seemed a little bit boring. We were going through ingredients and stuff, but it was fun for us. I mean, I had a fun time. We came up with the idea to get Omega Yeast OYL 200 Tropical IPA. That was the name of the yeast. And then we got Mecca Grade Lamanta American Pale Malt for our malt. We got Mouton's DME Light, so that's the dry malt extract light for our hops. We've got Galaxy hop pellets. Those are dry hops, so we're going to add those at the end of the boiling process. We're not going to add them during boiling. We're going to add them post-boiling. We've got Idaho 7 hops pellets. Those are going to be our boiling hops. And we also decided on Wayman hops pellets for kind of like late to post-boiling hops. And, you know, just because of some of the names, I think we were thinking about Hidden Galaxy IPA, HUA's Hidden Galaxy, or the HUA Galaxy IPA, or something along the lines with Galaxy. And ladies and gents, yeah. Hell yeah. Writing notes on our labels here. Yeah, this is fun, man. This is fun. So yeah, that's gonna be kind of our ingredients for our next, or for a beer we want to brew.
Our very own.
Yeah,
and man.
I think we're gonna keep it simple, just in terms of like we're basically gonna. I mean, as long as this beer turns out, we're gonna kind of follow this beer's brewing process, but just with our own ingredients, and we're gonna make our own hazy IPA out of it.
Yo, dude, this process, like, just getting these caps on and, like, the whole, like, this is awesome, dude. This is, it's exciting. It's just, I'm having a blast right now. And, you know, it's only 10:46. We got time to party, time to get wild. So, hopefully my boss ain't too mad at me tomorrow. Yeah. So we got about we got three more beers to get down and dirty with. Hopefully tuning enough for capping up 30 racks, you know. I don't think I've ever seen a 30 rack of bottled beer. Maybe we'd be the first. So Max marking up labels. Oh, I'm gonna need one of these beer of the weeks here pretty soon. Up backward. Scoresies. In case any of my Green Bay listeners are tuning in, yeah, Aaron Rodgers still not at Packer camp. He's out in Hawaii surfing, smoking doobies, and banging cuties. But, you know, as long as he's back with a strong arm, I don't really care. I can't wait for Packer season to get back so me and Max can get back into the Packer talk. Me and Max both have tickets to the home opener, so maybe we'll do a little, bring the GoPro with us or something, strap up. Hey, the Rogers Woodley IPA, man. Oh, man. These would actually be, like, super dope logos for bottles. We have no idea how strong this IPA is. We have, so that's another thing for us to figure out. How do we figure out the ABV and the IBUs?
That is a great question. That's a question we'll need to answer when we have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
Yeah, man.
We might have looked it up last week. I just can't remember if
Me
we did
neither.
or not. One of the few issues that I have with the show is that I'll say things and then don't remember what I say a week later.
That's because we're drinking tar skis, man.
We got the IPAs flowing. Gets the old brain neurons dying. But that's okay. We're brewing beer. My last one said Rogers Woodley IPA, you know, out there in Hawaii. Getting all funky and shit. But no, super fun. I can't wait for. So we're gonna have what, 3 extra to give away, because we gotta have 3 for us. We're gonna have 3 extra to give away. And I'm very curious to see how they turn out. I mean, it's not going to be based on the uncarbonated, kind of settled beer that I tried. It wasn't bad, and like you said, with that carbonation, man, it's gonna be tasty, and I'm excited to see what this Kama Citra IPA HUA Hazy turns into, and you know, I'm excited in the future to brew our own beer, to you know, really get into getting our own grains and our own malts. Basement blackout. Oh, I thought it said easement blackout, and I was like, what is an basement blackout? Hell yeah. Hopefully we black out from these. That would be great. It'd be funny if these were like a 10% ABV and we had no idea. We each had 2 of them and we're just like stumbling around trying to figure out what the fuck happened. How the fuck did this happen? I had 1.5 beers and I can't see.
Oh, man. This is awesome, dude.
Yeah,
you know what? I'm
fun,
excited
man.
to, like, create our very own beer logos.
Dude, right?
Ooh, that's
Especially when
good.
we come up with like our own, the actual name of it. You know, we had some ideas, but
Yeah.
nothing really that we've like really. You know, like when you hear something, you know, like, oh, that's the name.
Yeah.
That's it, right there.
That's it. Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
really. We've spit a lot of ideas out, but none that we really were like. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what we're sticking with.
Getting somewhere, yeah, we all up in this shit, yeah. I ain't the type to settle down with a wife and kid. I live for the grind, and I grind to live. I wanna do the things that matter to me, live like a good king, as life brings the good things. It's easy to get blinded by the stress.
Max bottling another brew. We got un mas.
No matter how many mistakes.
And then, so once we're done bottling these, man, we cover them up and we just keep them down here and let them sit 2 more weeks.
To my homies who be fighting in a war that will never end. In the pursuit to be better men.
So coming up, we got a joke of the week. We're gonna play a game of tabletop bag toss, and then kind of butt in, depending on where we're at, butt into a little bit of a segment we're thinking of, and just keep grooving, man. This is episode 29. Next week is episode 30, man. I can't believe we're getting there. That's awesome. I hope everybody's happy, living life, getting through every day, man. That's just what we're doing. We're out here brewing beers and just trying to stay as happy as we can.
We just out here doing our thing, man. We just out here doing our thing.
Just out here doing our goddamn thing, man. Shout out Aunt Nate for the badass koozie. I'm going to shout you out every episode until I lose this thing. Hopefully I never do. So for all my Packer fans, I was thinking, man, whoa. Tasty bottles, man. All right. Last one coming in hot. Oh. Oh, yeah. All right. Marker me, man. Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, make the last one count, buddy. Man. Yeah, man. Last one, last bottle. Coming at ya. Kama Citra Hazy IPA. We have been enjoying the bottling, capping, labeling, everything that goes with brewing a beer. We have enjoyed the process. We did not fill 3 of the bottles, excuse me, but that's okay. We've got 9 bottles full of relatively sediment-free beer. There's a little bit of sediment, but that's okay. It's not perfect. But again, it's our first time, and we're learning. And we've added the fizz drops to the bottle before we started bottling. So we're going to have to let our bottles of beer sit for 2 weeks so they get the proper carbonation. And that's before we can even refrigerate them. Goofy dudes from Wisco. I love it. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, we should have made one that just said like straight Decker on it. We should have just, but next time.
I was
Jim was talking to your beer.
I was talking into my beer.
I've done that. Man, I've done that many times.
Hey, that concludes.
That does it, man. That does the bottling process.
Put an X on that. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, we got 9 beers. Man, I just want to drink one. We tried one. So
we did. We tried.
We got all 9 beers capped up. We're gonna.
Dude, yeah, look at that, man.
Yeah, dude.
Man, cheers to us first of all, because we hit some snags just in terms of like following directions, and we weren't sure if we like followed the directions 100% exactly correctly, but we made it work.
Yeah,
and
we really won't find out until we drink them. So,
but I mean, to see that, I thought we would at the most get 8, like at the very most. Like I thought, all right, we'll for sure get 6, and then anything after that is kind of gravy.
This is just badass.
Yeah, man. Everyone is unique just based on the label, based on a little bit of sediment that got in there.
And they look good, dude. Look at that.
It looks like a normal, just like a beer that.
They're getting fizzy.
They're getting fizzy already.
All right,
man.
I'm gonna let them go. I'm gonna let them sit.
Man.
Let them brew.
Let them sit. Let them be. Let them stew.
Let them be. Let them be.
Let's see what the directions say. Following, I'm pretty sure it's just kind of chilling, letting them be. But let's see what they say. Bottling day continued, so this is the last process. Capping, we've done that. All right, yeah. So it just goes into cleanup. Wash all the equipment that we've used. Yeah, conditioning. So store the bottles in a dark area. at least 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 2 weeks to carbonate. After 2 weeks, the bottles can be stored in the refrigerator. So we'll just let them sit down here for 2 weeks.
Let them sit in this box. Toss them underneath the desk.
Yep. And then, we'll bring them to the stew and throw them in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And we'll let them sit in there for a little while. Let them get ice cold. And, enjoy. We will enjoy. So, yeah, man, I cannot wait to actually try this beer. It's weird that we got to let them sit for 2 more weeks.
And then let them get cold.
And then let them get cold. I really want to let them get cold, like, tomorrow and then try them. But I know that
we already got a little sippy.
We did.
Sippy poo.
And it was sweeter than I thought, and I wasn't sure if that was from the fizz drop or.
I thought you were about to pop that up in the old.
I might, you never know.
Toss it in the old Jai Alai.
Stays dirty.
Good for you, man.
But, we're
yeah,
we're in it.
We're in it to win it, man.
And we ain't stopping till we get the hazy IPA popping.
Hey, what do you think about playing a little bag toss, bud?
Bag toss, let's get it going, man.
All right, we're gonna take a little intermission and get this bag toss set up, and we'll be right back with you. This is episode 29. I'll hold us accountable. Beers are bottled, capped, and labeled, sitting in a dark space, and they're going to brew for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. They're going to let the carbonation process take hold for 2 weeks.
And then we're going to let them get cold. And,
ice cold.
And then we are going to have the beer of the week with our own beer.
Hey, do you think we should... I've got a lot of ideas that I don't know if they're possible.
Let's talk about them while we play toss.
Will we play a little bag, huh?
We'll play a little bag.
Huh? Bag, huh?
Aye.
Let's get her going. What are we gonna do for the backstop or the legs? I mean,
I got them cut, bud.
You got them cut. You got them ready to go.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
episode 29.
Here we go. All right. Let's do it. We got some bag toss.
The bags are set up. So, right now we are shifting from the cribbage. I dished us up some brand new tabletop bag toss. Custom HUA style, man.
HUA boards. These things are beautiful. I mean, man, Kärel did a fucking phenomenal job.
Yeah,
with
man.
These boards and getting the stickers. We'll definitely be showing them off to the camera and making sure that everyone out there sees these. I mean, like vintage style.
Hell yeah, dude.
Just beautiful looking.
They
boards.
turned out nice, dude.
Yeah. Man.
All right, so I think you want to play you want to do like a game to 61
to 61
or like 41 because we usually play bag toss to 21, but that would so we'll do one there, one back every episode.
Right.
So 21 would be too short, or we could do just games to 21 and restart.
We could do games. So we got a couple options. We could do games to 21, best out of 3.
Oh, okay.
So, like win one, lose one, or we could do game like one game to 61 like you were saying, or one game to 41.
I'd say, okay, here's a good idea. So I like your idea of best 2 out of 3 at 21.
Okay.
And we'll do we'll go double on the bump, or not double on the bump, but we'll do so the loser of the first best 2 out of 3. We could do 2 rounds of 2 out of 3. Or is that too long a bag toss?
Well, okay, but if you do 2 rounds of 2 out of 3, that could mean you're end with a 1-on-1 tie. So we'd have to do 3 rounds of 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Because like does that make sense? What
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Like
a penny machine.
Right.
Makes sense.
A lot of sense, especially if you put in $100 bill.
That's a lot of pennies.
That's a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So
we should play one game. It's a 61.
let's do one game to 61.
Yeah, man.
Well, okay. Do you think you'll ever be able to find the third bag?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe this week is just like the dry run
Okay.
until you find the third bag, so we can really get a feel of how.
And so,
Because honestly, 2 bags each is a weird.
so we're gonna play 2 bags each
For this first.
for this first round, and this round is just determining what we have to do to make up for our failed attempt at our
Right.
last weekly challenge.
Yeah, let's talk about that quick.
So we our weekly challenge was to clean up trash at Pamperin Park, and we fucking failed at it. There's no
did.
excuses,
Yeah, we
no if and or buts about it.
Right.
So what I think would be a good idea is we play one game, we pick 6 challenges,
Right.
roll 1 dice at the end of the game.
Right. Whatever number we land on corresponds with the
You got-
challenge.
Do you have your diary? Your HUA diary?
I will pull it out.
So what we're going to do right now is we're going to put down 6.
The only problem is we don't have any dice. We have no dice.
We'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. Figure it out. I think I have a dice app on my phone.
I was gonna say we should be able. That's all right. It can be.
Let it be.
Yeah. If you have a dice app on your phone, I'll start writing these down quick.
All right. So we were supposed to clean up Pamperin Park last week. We didn't do it. We're gonna hold ourselves accountable to our failure, and we're gonna write down 6 shitty weekly
Right.
things.
Challenges.
Yeah.
So the first one, the first idea we had would be like a hot sauce challenge. So we're both in it together, right? Like I failed, you failed. This is basically we're basically just playing bag toss to see who gets to roll dice for the shitty challenge this week. And we're both in it.
And we both do it.
We're both in it. So we've got like a hot sauce challenge. So we get wings. We'd get like the hottest wings from the bar, right?
Yep,
And have
yep.
them delivered.
All right, then number 2 is going to be pick out songs for each other to have to sing on the next episode.
Right. Songs. 3 is going to be what, like costumes? Like a weird costume?
Yep, weird costumes.
4,
It's
what did we say?
100 push-ups a day.
100 push-ups a day. What if 5 was like we could only drink Drop Dead Blonde next week?
Okay.
Well, it's just an idea for I can't remember all the 6 because we had 6 that we thought of before the show.
Yeah, okay.
What were I can't remember.
So what's your least favorite food?
My least favorite.
What is one
food?
thing that you eat that you cringe at?
I hate olives, man.
All right, so
hate
next week
olives.
if we roll, olive is my least favorite food.
You hate
fucking
olives?
hate olives.
Dude, olives.
So
are
we
just one
both
of my-
have to eat a bowl of olives.
Okay.
Olive up.
I don't even know how to spell olives. That's how much
Olives.
Okay, I just hate them so much. All right, the last one.
Take a shot of tequila on the show. You like tequila?
I do actually like.
Okay,
tequila.
never mind. Well, that's all right.
Maybe
Man, is that kind of a reward?
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be fun.
kind of
We
a
should not
reward.
do any booze. No booze. 'cause
One-
we're out- one shot of water. No, no.
All right.
What was it? Costume song. There was.
I'm not even gonna say that we have to like wear. Never mind.
No, like
Murph challenge. That's intense.
That's
intense.
Each person has to do one Murph. No. But what we had, I feel like we had we had before the show.
All right.
Should no.
You gotta. What was it? What's your no here?
I was trying to think of like a joke, like. No, that's not a good. I want to do it for maybe.
4.
Maybe we
3.
I was gonna say something like we're both
6.
blindfolded for our HUA toss, like our bag toss, but that wouldn't really work because if we both just suck, it wouldn't matter at all. Well, okay, so on top of these, do we have to do another part cleanup? Like we have to actually do the part cleanup on top of.
I mean, I think so.
Yeah, so we for sure have to do the part cleanup. We have to go to a Packers training camp and wear a Bears jersey. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck.
That's not cool.
That's not cool, man.
We can't. So I'm trying to it's tough to find something that's shitty for both of us that would also play well on the show. Like not play well, but translate.
Okay, well let's just put this on there. Donate. We both put $50 together to donate $100 to a charity.
Okay. All right. I love it. Jeez. Hope we don't land on a 6.
2.
Just
3,
kidding.
2. 1.
It's the
3.
HUA charity, so we win-win.
Win-win. Hey.
No, just kidding.
No, that's good. That'd be good.
No,
That'd
that
be
is good.
All right.
All right, so we got on top of our part cleanup, we got hot wings, songs for each other to sing, costume, 100 push-ups a day. We each have to eat a bowl of olives, and then we come up with $100 to donate to our charity.
Which isn't a bad thing. That's a good
charity.
thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Absolutely.
But if
All
we're
right.
gonna do this,
Good call on the last one there. I was struggling.
both were.
It wasn't a good segment there.
Hey, how the fuck do you spell Decker's last name? P-E.
A-N.
Oh. Got her out her. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, here we go.
Don't even worry about it. All right, we're about to start our very first game on these brand new beautiful tables. Let's get her done, son. Shout out Decker Pollinari, background music.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're playing some tabletop bag toss. All right. Ooh, ooh. Here we go.
You going first? You want?
You want to roll dice or go first?
Yeah.
High number goes first. All right, Decker's going to stop for a second.
You say high number goes first.
High number goes first. I'm going to roll.
6.
Ooh!
I guess.
3.
Now you're going first. Well, that's good for me. I think going first is bad.
All right.
So, fuck you.
I missed it. I missed. All right. Fuck me. All right, so
Alright.
Max got 2.
I got 2. We're doing down and back, right?
Down and back.
So it's 2-0.
All right.
I'm winning.
I don't think my mic's going to reach.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Yeah. Here we go.
All right, so I missed twice.
So you're going first again here.
I just don't want to scuff up my brand new tables I made, you know?
They're beautiful, man.
All right. Let's get it. So let's go heel against the back wall. Right?
Against the back wall? Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. I got you.
Max muffs it.
Oh.
Oh!
All right, so it's 6-2.
Well, yeah, coming
Charles-
back.
Carl's in the lead, so he's rolling dice to see
Yeah, bud.
what we're doing. So next week, are we like starting over? Like, how is this working? Because we said this was just for rolling dice this week.
Yeah, so next
So
week we're gonna come
starting
back.
over clean.
We'll come
slate.
back with 3, and then that's the start to the game to
Oh, yeah, 'cause we're
61.
on
All right.
3. Okay.
So I'm gonna bring my phone over to the camera so they can see the random roll. Max, read them off. What our challenges
If
are.
Carl rolls a 1, we're eating. Well, we can. Do you want? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. It's a 1 in 6 chance for all of them. Carl rolls a 1. We're eating the hottest wings that the bar East has to offer. If Carl rolls a 2, we each have to sing songs that the other person will pick out for the other person. So I'll pick out a song for Carl. Carl will pick out a song for me to sing. If he rolls a 3, we're gonna come dressed up in costumes.
Hell yeah.
For our next episode, I'll pick out a costume for Carl to wear. Carl will pick out a costume for myself to wear. If he rolls a 4, we're going to do 100 push-ups a day for a week. If he rolls a 5, we're going to eat a bowl of olives next week.
Oh, fuck.
And if he rolls a 6, we're each going to donate we're each going to donate $50 to a charity, so $100 total to a charity.
Let's roll some die, huh?
So Carl is going to bring up his dice app on the phone. I am actually kind of hoping he rolls a 1, honestly. I think eating some hot-ass wings would be fun. But let's see here. Yeah, man. Yes. Roll away. Looks good.
4.
We rolled a 4, so 100 push-ups a day for a week. Honestly, yeah, we'll see if we can actually do it on top of
Park cleanup.
Yeah,
So
yeah, man.
that was the first game.
First
Little Baked Us,
Baked
man.
Us game, dude. I love the board, man. It's
Hell yeah, get one more. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. All right.
Feeling good.
So,
Feeling mean.
100 push-ups a day.
Yep.
For me and the Max, 1,000,000. And I am cutting in and out.
Uh-oh. All right. My bad. I screwed that up. Sorry about it.
All good. I'm back in the hood. Feeling good, feeling right,
Okay.
feeling tight.
So, yeah, we're doing 100 push-ups a day for a week.
Okay, I'm pumped. Why?
Okay.
Let's see what else. Let's see what else we would
I
got.
won,
Oh,
hot
hot
wings.
wings. All right,
Ah.
go.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
interesting.
we're doing 100 push-ups a day.
All right, so we're gonna get this game cleaned up, and we're gonna finish off this episode with a joke of the week, and then a little bit of mental health talk.
Mental health
mental
talk
health
in
in
general.
general, man.
Mental health talk in general.
And then
Blah,
maybe
blah,
some
blah.
speech for Max.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we need more than just a little.
All right.
So, but yeah,
Episode
let's do it.
29, first bag toss game, man. Oh, can we show off these boards quick? I'm proud.
Absolutely, these things are beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Carl made these amazing, like vintage HUA bag toss boards.
Oh, yeah. Give them the sides. Show them the whites. Oh, yeah. You know.
Look at these. They're stained,
Custom.
beveled. I mean, just looking beautiful. I mean, the center cut holes are perfect. The HUA stickers are awesome. He picked out just
Shout out Sticker Mule for those.
HUA stickers.
Yeah, so.
Really captured the vibe of the boards, kind of vintage 70s almost. It's
Yeah,
like
man.
It's like
you
if they
know.
were playing bag toss in the 70s.
Oh,
this is
yeah.
what it would
Smoking
be, man.
doobies, getting rowdy.
Playing some bag toss.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hell
And this
yeah.
is episode 29, the first bag toss game. Next week, we will start the game to 61.
Yep. Yes, sir.
This week, we are going to do 100 push-ups a day. Yeah, starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow.
And clean up a park
Yes, sir.
this weekend.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 29. We're going to mosey on down to Joke of the Week town and get into a little mental health talk
Yeah.
to close
Let's
out
get
the
into
episode.
it, man. Let's get into it.
Hell yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. What up? Episode 29. Back at it.
Hell of a game of bake.
Hell
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa. Can you hear me?
Here we go.
Oh.
Episode 29.
All right. No,
New tune?
we're going to do. Can you edit this stuff?
Sure.
I'm sorry. Yo, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Episode 29.
We back.
What a game of bag toss.
I buffed it at the beginning. Max buffed it at the end.
And then Carl got to roll the dice, and he rolled us to playing to push-ups, man. We're doing 100 push-ups a day for a week, you motherfucker.
I
God
would have
damn.
rather ate hot chicken wings.
Me too.
I would have rather sang. I would have rather dressed up in costumes. And I definitely would have rather donate $50 to any charity.
Basically, anything but
You know what we
doing
should put
100
out there, though?
push-ups. But we're doing it, so.
I think that the whole, with the charity, if we have somebody comment or tell us, hey, I want you guys to donate $100 between the both of you to a charity.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. If anyone's still listening to at this point,
And that's exactly what I'm saying. So if you're still listening,
if you're still listening, either here, we'll do it this way. There's two ways you can do this. If you comment on the HUA Hold Us Accountable episode 29 YouTube video, and you say $100 donate. That's all you got to do. $100 sign donate. We will donate total $100 to a charity. Or if you go to Apple Podcasts and you leave a review and a comment with your review, and it says $100 donate, we will donate $100.
hell yeah. So get busy with it, dog.
So yeah, there's two ways. If one of those two things happens, we will donate $100.
We'll be doing 100 push-ups, donate $100.
And donate $100. Yeah, so great idea. I love it. And let's get into the kind of our last thoughts of the week. We'll kind of get into our joke of the week. We'll get into some mental health talk. And then we'll kind of just wrap it up and see, where we're going from there.
Hell yeah, Max. And I think, you know what, a good way to end every episode is a good laugh. So I think before the laugh, let's get serious, man. Let's talk about something.
All right.
So, me and Max, we did, I think one episode we kind of started talking about men's mental health. We kind of got into a little bit our own thoughts about it. We kind of dabbled in it. My idea was, since we kind of realized some people were really getting into those clips on YouTube, looking at that, kind of paying attention to that, and it's also very important to talk about this shit. Because I deal with mental health shit every day. I think everybody does, whether they want to admit it or not,
I agree.
And I thought a good way to kind of go about it, to just make it easier on us, to make it kind of fun and more understanding to the viewers, and the people is, come with a mental health quote or thought of the day, and just go with just kind of give our input of what we think about that thought or that quote.
Yeah, like what does it mean to us? How does it relate to our mental health, either struggles, accomplishments,
Yeah.
just kind of those thought lines in general, like where someone will find a quote. Carl found a few good ones, and we'll kind of talk about them and just have an open discussion about what they mean to us and our journey through, what mental health means to us. I feel like it's a little different for every person.
Yeah, and this was a big thought of mine, because we got into talking like, we're going to do men's mental health, because that's what we can't think the thoughts a woman thinks.
Right.
But then when I kind of got thinking about it the other night, I was thinking about this, and at the end of the day, I can't have any thoughts that you're I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what anybody's.
Sure.
It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I know we can probably relate more than I could to somebody else or a woman, but at the end of the day, man, we all have our own thoughts and our own issues that talk to everybody about it,
Yeah, and I think that's huge because everyone comes with their own story, and to dismiss anyone's story based on whether you're rich or poor, like a rich person who grew up wealthy has their own mental health struggles. It's different than and I don't know. I mean, we didn't grow up rich, we didn't grow up poor, we kind of grew up somewhere in the middle, but I can kind of see where a wealthy person or a wealthy kid growing up in a wealthy family has struggles the same as a poorer person growing up in a poor family. Like, there's both positives and negatives on each side.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to come to an understanding that every single person on every walk of life goes through some type of just mental struggles. Now, some people may portray them differently than others.
Absolutely.
You may look at someone and think that person's a prick, but maybe they're just going through something that you don't fully understand. And that's the thing. Everyone has their own story, whatever background they come from, you have your own story, and no one can really understand that story unless you've lived that story. And for better or worse, that's the human struggle, that's the human story, is just people are born into situations that they can't control, and sometimes those struggles create mental struggles, mental hurdles, mental obstacles that nobody intended to be created. They were just there, and they were just what happened to such a person. I don't know if that makes sense.
Total sense, man. It makes 100% sense.
But you can't judge someone whether they're rich or poor, whether they're in the middle. You can't tell someone that you can't have mental struggles just based on where you come from, or where, you might be super wealthy, but your parents are assholes to you your whole life, and you have mental struggles. Or you're poor and you have the most supportive parents, but you're coming up in a system that doesn't allow you to fully be who you are, because if you are fully who you are, you can't make it in life. You don't have a successful 9-to-5 job that makes you pay the bills and raises your family the way you want to, but you're trying.
Yeah.
Whereas someone else who comes from a different background may see it differently. But so I think mental health, mental struggles touches all races. It touches all cultures, economic lines.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think we all need to be made aware of, no matter where you are in life. If you're a kid who grew up and you realize you have extremely wealthy parents, and whatever reason you have these mental health problems, or you have mental struggles, don't push them aside and think like, oh, I shouldn't have these because I have all these advantages. And it's vice versa. If you're a poor person and you have these mental health struggles and you think, well, I just need to just pull myself up by my bootstraps and just work as hard as I can and I'll be okay. Like, no, you still have mental struggles that you go through, and it's okay. It should be okay.
And the best thing you can do, I think, the one thing that the rich and the poor and the different cultures and races all have in common is that we all have the ability to talk about it or to not talk about it.
Right.
And I think what the option gets chosen more often than not is to not talk about it.
Right.
And that's a barrier that needs to get broken, and that's a barrier that I think gets forgotten because, a lot of people think if I bury my problems will never dig themselves back to the surface. And at the end of the day, the more you bury your problems, the bigger your hole gets. And it's important to talk about what's going on in your life. It's important to get it out in the open because the more it sits, the more it brews, the more it ferments, and the more sediment you're going to have in your body. So
a lot of sediment holding you back.
Exactly,
if you
man.
don't let it out, or if you don't get it out the right way. If you don't filter it out the right way, it's just going to sit at the bottom of your bottle, and it's going to hold you down.
And we're both guilty of that. I think every human being on this earth, whether they want to admit it or not, is guilty of bearing problems, the fear of letting those problems brew. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's always someone to talk to, and if there's not, write it down or do something with it other than let it sit. Because personally, I have allowed myself to just take things from the past and let them carry on with me, and because I buried them, they followed me through my days. I have things I've gone through 10 years ago that still not haunt me, but ride with me still because I just never dealt with them. I never faced them head on. And this goes perfectly with our mental health quote of the day. And I'm going to give this quote and just allow me and Max to talk about it. And, I encourage listeners, viewers, if you're comfortable with it, to give your insight on what you think about it, what you think about this quote, whether you want to share something or not, or, just, give us, I've been through that, or, I don't like what you guys said about this, or whatever, I think it's important for everybody to have a part of it. Ooh, and, my phone doesn't even want to fucking deal with these problems, so. Quote of the day. Let your story go. Allow yourself to be present with who you are right now. And
that's the quote.
That's the quote.
Okay.
And I'll say it one more time.
Yeah, let me hear it again.
Let your story go. Allow yourself to be present with who you are right now. And this one did hit me in a big way.
Hold on. Well, before you get into to why it hit you, where'd you find it? How'd you find it? And why did it hit you? Why did it strike you as a quote you wanted to talk to today?
So to be honest, I went online and I started kind of just researching, flowing through different articles about mental health, and I stumbled upon this website that just had endless quotes, mental health quotes or statements or things, and I just kind of got hooked into reading them. Some hit lightly than other, but when I passed by this, it may sound kind of cliche or easygoing to people, but to me, it hit hard because I have a lot of things that have happened to me in the past that I allowed to paint a picture for who I am now, and I allow my past battles to get in the way of what I'm going through now, and the hardest thing for me in my whole life has been allowing the past to be the past and to learn from the past. And it's hard for me to say that because I also believe that the past is a big reason for who you are in the present. And I think the past is important, but I also, the older I've gotten, believe that it's okay to write a new chapter, move on, take a new step, and to allow those demons, quote unquote, that have kind of held you in a corner, lay rest for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, things that I've been throughout my whole life. I mean, I'm only 24, but it's 24 years on Earth, man, and I've seen shit, been through shit, and I've always allowed myself to carry that shit with me. And the biggest step I've taken is just being okay with what has happened, like being just learning from it, I guess, and putting it to rest. Because at the end of the day, the past is the past. You can't change it. The only thing you can do is to take the past, grasp it, and fucking learn from it and become something from it. You know what I mean? And it's been the hardest battle of my life, is just being able to just not let my story be who I am, my past story be who I am now, and just being able to grow and want to become something bigger and better, and just learn from what I've been through. I don't know. It's a whole fucking hard thing, man. Hardest thing for me has been allowing the past to be the past and not letting it follow you through the rest of your path.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And I think, I mean, kind of what you were saying, like, you have to let, I mean, what do any of us know? But from what you were saying, it sometimes it sounds like, I think in all of us, for me and as well, and I don't, so when I say, like, when I hear you talking, this is what I'm hearing, but it's the same thing for me as well. So, like, it's like you try to let the past be the past and you move on, but you still try to learn from the past, so you hold on to some of those teachings, quote unquote, that you got from the past, so you try to be better in the future. But you're holding on to those, quote unquote, teachings from the past, so you're still holding on to the past, but you're trying to move forward, and you never ever really quite move forward because you're always still thinking, well, I'm here right now because of the past, so how can I be better from my past to my future? But it's never like I'm just moving on. It's, for me as well, it's always like hold on to what you learned. But sometimes what you learn, like, you hold on to those things you learned and you hold them too closely sometimes. You just let those things, like, dwell on you too much. Yeah, obviously, we learn things from our past, and we take those experiences. Sometimes we have really horrible experiences in life that we think, okay, this happened to me, and I need to move on from it. And this is how I can move on from it. But a lot of times, again, me included, is we hold on to those things and we think, okay, this is what happened to me in the past. We move into the future and we go, this is happening to me now. This is what happened to me in the past. This is what I did. I'm going to do things differently. But you're still holding on to those values and those beliefs that you had in the past. You're just trying to manipulate and morph them into something better for your current situation, rather than just saying, this is my current situation, what's the best option for me? And not necessarily forgetting about the past, but just saying, what's my best option? Is it A, B, or C? If I go A direction, these opportunities come with it. B direction, these opportunities come with it. C direction, these opportunities come with it. I really think, and I mean, I don't know how to do this, but we hold on to so much of the quote-unquote knowledge that we say we've got from our past, and we try to apply them to the future. But that doesn't make sense, because if you apply your past knowledge to the future, you're just reliving the past. So, I mean, I don't know how to push it forward and make things better in the future, but I feel those same kind of thoughts as like, you want to learn, you want to grow, you want to improve, but at the same time,
you want to forget.
Do you want to grow from the same? If we're looking at it, from a tree's perspective, do you want to grow from the same trunk that you were learning from, or do you want to create your own trunk and say, I'm going to take a little bit of this, I'm going to take a little bit of that, and I'm going to make my own path straight up towards the sun?
And I guess, now reading through this quote, and I said, in reading, let your story go, allow yourself to be present with who you are right now, is you can't let your story go. The person you are is the person you are, and as human beings, we're never going to forget what we've been through. So, yeah.
I mean, but you have to, though. You have to just... if you were burned in the past with whatever situation you might have been burned in, whether it was a relationship, a financial situation, like if you were investing in something and you invested a lot of money in a certain stock because you saw X, Y, and Z potential, but it backfired on you. It's like, read that quote again for me.
Let your story go. Allow yourself to be present with who you are right now.
Like, you do have to let that story go. I think that is as much as we like to say, I can't let my story go. It's who I am. It's what I am. It's how I got here. Well, if you don't like where you're at, why hold on to your story? Why say, well, this is just who I am. This is my story. This is who I'll always be. But I still have to let it go and learn and grow. But you can't learn and grow if you're still holding on to what's held you back. Now, I'm not saying I personally do that. I don't. I let my past story hold me down. I let my past failures, accomplishments, all of it. Bad,
is that a struggle? Is that a barrier for you? Is that something that has gotten in your way?
I think for all of us it's a bad thing.
I agree, because it is for me.
I don't think any of us should hold on to what we think is success. And it's not easy. It's not like I wouldn't want to only have that, or I wouldn't I wouldn't want to only just live and die by my past successes and failures and say, well, this is what worked for me in the past, so I'm going to keep going down that path. Or I failed doing this, so I'm never going to go back that way. It's a weird balance that we just have to live. Like, man, I don't know what works for you, what works for me. Same with, I don't know what works for you, what works for me. And it kind of sounds like a cop-out trying to talk to this quote or have thoughts on the quote, but we all live very such different lives, and I think that if we get too caught up in the differences in ourselves instead of looking at the similarities and saying a lot of people think and live the way I think, and I don't know if that's good or a bad thing, but I feel more people live and think the way I think than what I let on in my head. Like sometimes you think you might think you have an original thought, right? You're going through your head. For example, like writing a joke, right? We're thinking about stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we think we have these original, hilarious, funny thoughts, and we're just we're unique. We're awesome. Every person is unique. Every person is his own snowflake. yes, that is true. But in being so unique, we're so similar that the uniqueness is a circle that comes back to just being similar. And it's really hard to face that and say, I'm so unique that I'm similar.
And can I bring what you're saying into the opposite dark side?
Yeah.
People like suicide. A lot of people who have thoughts like that think, especially at a young age, I'm the only one who. None of my friends have these thoughts. No one else has these thoughts.
Right.
Who wants to kill themselves? Who wants to be done with this? Who is so fed up that it just isn't worth it anymore? And and I think that's a big thing with what you're saying is like that can be poison to people thinking like it's just me. Like I am the only person who thinks like this, and I don't want to be that but at the end of the day, maybe, your best friend probably thinks like that. You don't realize it. Your brother or sister, your mother or your father, your grandparents, your cousin or your uncles, like it's exactly what you're saying is people think their thoughts are so original or so foreign and scary that they don't realize and are so blinded and just naive to the fact that whether you're rich or poor or black or white or anything, everybody is human, and a lot of people think the same, maybe not necessarily these same thoughts, but the same driven path, you know what I mean? Like, and I think a big reason for that is because of the stories people aren't allowing themselves to get past and move from, and to be comfortable with saying, this happened to me at this time in my life, and it was terrible, and it broke me down, but I'm a better person now, and that's not my story anymore. This is my story now. This is who I am now. And in a sense, when we talk about stories, they're chapters. So you're always going to have these chapters. These chapters are going to exist in your life no matter whether you move past them or not. But I think that's a better way to say it, is allow yourself to move to the next chapter of your life and let that chapter be in the back. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Once you are at the point in your life where you are happy, or you're at a point where you're comfortable with what you've done, to be allowed, because I think sometimes it's important to read back a few chapters and realize what the fuck got you there when you're ready to do that.
Right.
And I think the path of getting past those dark chapters are not looking back.
Yeah.
And I think the best part of life is getting to a point to look back, which this is all not bullshit. This is all just me thinking, because I haven't gotten to that chapter yet. But being able to look past and saying, you know what, that chapter fucked my life up, but it also got me to the best chapter of my life. So
sure.
I think it's not letting your story go, but allowing yourself to write the next chapter of your life.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, shit.
Shit.
No, that's exactly it. I mean, like you said, I don't know, like, I'm not mentally as strong as I'd like to be, right? So, like, first and foremost, I'm not up here or talking to you, trying to preach to you about...
Me neither, man.
Like, how to be mentally strong. It's a ever-going struggle. I personally don't feel like I will ever be mentally strong enough alone to just be able to live by myself, to do the things I got to do. I really do feel like I need a strong individual next to me, keeping me going. And, I'm lucky enough to think I've found that. But at the same time, like you said, those chapters that have been the story of our lives that have been written always are in the back of your mind, right? Like, I don't know. It's just it never really goes away. Like all those little games or just nightly morningful mental struggle. You wake up in the morning as a kid and you think like, okay, I got to go to school and I do this, then I do this, and then I do this. It's a regimented thing, and you never really think for yourself. And then you finally have this time to think for yourself, and you go, I've never thought for myself. I've never thought or set out I've been on a path that I've told myself this was my path. But then when you take a step back and you go, well, I said this was my path because other people's laid this path out for me. And I just followed this path because if I didn't follow this path, I would be letting people down. And you go, well, why would I be letting people down if I didn't follow their path? They would still have to love and appreciate me if I did my own thing, right? And you go through, for me, like you go through these like mental games of thinking like, well, yeah, okay, so I did X, Y, and Z because ZYP person wanted me to do these things, and I did them, and I succeeded, and it made me feel good, and I was successful in these areas, but I never was really like thinking why I wanted to be successful in these areas. I was always just doing it because it would fulfill someone else's need for me, and that would fulfill my need for myself.
So when you finally got to the point where you were out of that path and you finally had to think for yourself,
and you go,
was that terrifying?
Yeah, and you go, what? Okay, so I need to pick my own path right now. And you go, well, the path that this mentor or whatever, adjective you want to put for a person had me going down and showing me, if you do this, this, it'll lead you to these types of careers and these jobs. And you go, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, I could definitely see myself doing that. But it's like you're putting yourself in that person's shoes. And then you meet another person and you're like, oh, no, you have a skill set here. And I think if you go down this path, you'll be successful. And you go, oh sure, yeah, absolutely, I could do those things. I just need to follow that path.
And that what that has been for me, where it's entering new work worlds, entering new career paths, going into jobs that maybe I just took because they were open, because I needed money, or maybe because I was, fuck it, they offered me a job, or this person said that this would be great for me, and then I get into these positions and I'm like, this is not what I want to do. But
yeah,
and I get so stuck and caught up in this, and so often than not, this has been a problem. The biggest problem in my career life as an adult, I guess, is I have put myself in positions where a job sounded good because of the title or the pay, or a person told me to do it, or it was just the first job available. And then I get stuck into it, and I'm like, I'm back in the fucking place I was just, doing construction on somebody else's fucking road, like, this is not my path. I'm not building my path. But then I get so caught up in the place of, it's like, well, how do I build my own? Like, when do I know that I'm starting to do the construction on my own path to make it to where I'm going? Like, and I know I'm young, but at the same time, like, that's what's really been hard for me is like, why am I wearing myself down on a path that I am not paving for myself, but for somebody else to just make them happy, or is this my path? Like, it's just I'm lost. I'm on a path with no map, and sometimes that's really good to me, but sometimes that's not. And it all comes back to, past chapters of every chapter of my life. I've always had an idea of what I wanted to do, and it's always stayed pretty consistent. But at a certain point in my life, my chapter started to change where I was like, okay, maybe money's more than happiness at this point. I need to live in this. I need to pay rent. I need bills. Like, is happiness staying under a roof and being able to pay my bills, or like what the fuck is it anymore? And it's I'm in a place with no GPS and have no idea where the fuck any of it goes. I feel like sometimes.
All right, read that quote one more time. How many quotes do you got? 2, 3? 2?
I got a bunch.
Read this one more time.
Let your story go. Allow yourself to be present with who you are right now.
That's tough, man. And it's exactly what you were saying as far as like, but even more than that, like, man, we get so caught up on where we've been, we forget, like, not even where we're going. We get so caught up on where we've been, we forget, like, the little victories in life that if we were just strictly saying, like, how could I be happy in life? Whether it's finding someone that just truly loves you. If you, for example, if you find someone that truly in your heart you feel you have found another person that just you have a deep soul connection with, but you're not, like, happy in other aspects of your life, that's going to weigh on you. But you have this one amazing thing, and but you can never move forward because you're always holding on to these past stories, these past things, these past stories that tell you this is where you should be going. Your past stories are in your head telling you you should be moving in this direction, but maybe you're moving in a completely opposite direction, but you're fighting against these past stories. Or these new chapters in your life, you are learning and you're growing and you're moving and you're saying, okay, look at I fell, I climbed a tree and then I fell from it. And instead of saying, well, I missed this, like, hold, or I missed this, this path, I'm just going to never climb a tree again because I'm safe. I'll never break an ankle again. Yeah, like, I agree with that. That's how I live my life, and that's how I've done things. And I don't know. I mean, it's a weird it's a weird thing that we hold on to these past things because they are so important. They really are important. Like, we lived those things. We are those things. We are those past experiences. We did make those bad decisions. We did do those things. We can never unlive those. I mean, man, a lot of the things I quote-unquote regret in my life are bad decisions. But you can't unlive it. You can't say, like, I regret it so it never happened. No. It did happen. And I'm not good at letting those things go. I'm not good at never forgetting those things and just moving forward and growing and saying, okay, I lost my wallet, so next time I lose all my shit, all I got to do is just call the credit card company, cancel that card, call the DMV, get a new driver's license, talk to my medical insurance, tell them I lost my card, they'll send me a new one. It's like we try to hold on to these things that hurt us because we feel like if we hold on to them, we'll always have this story, this thing to tell people, instead of just saying, no, it happened. I don't know, like, people go, did you lose? Oh, shit, I lost my wallet. Oh, yeah, I did too, man. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You just move on. Like,
you'll get a new one tomorrow.
You'll get
it's fine.
You really, just call whoever you bank with. You either can call them, or you can go online, or you can do this. Those are your 3 options.
And isn't it amazing the things that can just hold you the fuck down that are just so simple that they shouldn't? But to be honest with you, man, that's what I'm not perfect at, is like those small things where, like, you know, and I deal with them daily, like whether it is losing my wallet or just small things where, you know, what pisses me off the most about myself is I wake up on the wrong side of the bed and I go to work and somebody's asking me a question or says something that for some reason just ticked me wrong, and it makes me angry. It ruins my whole day. And then at the end of that day, like, it's like, why did that ruin my day?
Right.
I you know, who knows how long I'm going to make it tomorrow or the next day. And I allowed somebody spilling something on my fucking shoes to ruin my whole day. Like, how worthless of a fucking thing is that? But then 2 days later, the same thing happens. And, like, it's like, where do I how do I get past?
Where's that line?
Where's the line? When will I learn?
Obviously, we all know the line of, like, horrible and just a bad day, right?
Yeah.
All of us, whether you're poor or rich, if you're a super poor person, you know that line of, this is going to set me off into a horrible week, month, or this is going to set me off into a horrible couple hours. If you're a super wealthy person, you know that line of, like, what's going to just ruin the next few months versus what's going to ruin the next few hours. And it's so vast. It's so different.
But that's what fucks up.
And that's what fucks everybody up.
And the thing that fucks, and that's the thing that brings hate, is because a person who is less wealthy than a person who is wealthy, a wealthy person doesn't understand what ticks a person who, maybe a person who is not is wealthy or is
and it could be any type of wealth. It could be mental wealth. It could be spiritual wealth. It could be monetary wealth. Like,
I could be rich and you could be rich, but your parents left 5 years ago, and my parents are here loving me. So, but people look at both of us that we're both wealthy, say, and this is just total. This is just a story. This isn't real life, but you're wealthy, I'm wealthy, but your whole story is different than mine. And that's what brings fucking hate to people, is because this person is like, well, you have all the money in the fucking world, or your parents are head over heels for you, and so why could you have why can you complain? That doesn't make sense. And at the end of the day, it's like, well, it doesn't fucking matter what situation you're brought into. You're a fucking human being. Something's gonna drive you down. No matter, the happiest person in your life is probably one of the saddest fucking people under the sheets, you know? Like,
absolutely.
And it comes down to that, at the end of the day, is let your story go, is you don't know a person's past. You don't know the past chapters. You know, somebody may be sitting trying to just be themselves in the present, and maybe that makes them more into an asshole or too nice or too rambunctious or too
vulnerable in general. It's such a good let your story go. We all have our own stories, right? Everybody has their own story, and we can all make our own sob story out of our story, right? Like, we can all just pinpoint and picture and hold on to the most negative aspects of our life, whether you're rich or poor, right? We can all do that. And the hardest thing that, again, I struggle doing is just letting that go and saying, like, we all have some shit in our lives, and it just so happens that this is the life I'm living. It's not as good as this person. It's not as bad as this person. It'll never be as good as this person. It'll never be as bad as this person. And I can sit and I can be mad that I'll never be as good as this person, or I can sit and just wallow in happiness that I'll never be as bad as this person. But at the end of the day, it's going to come to somewhere in the middle where eventually we get to this median point where we look at our lives and we go, what have I done with it? Did I make, and some people, I guess it comes down to what you view as success, right? Some people view success as making themselves happy. Some people view success as they've made other people's happy. Some people view success as combining the two. Some people view success as none of that. And maybe success is the wrong word, but it's more of the fact of, where do you get your value out of life? Because it is a weird thing that we're doing right now on this rock that's flying around a burning hot, boiling lava star spinning.
It's
in
fucking
in
bizarre at
infinity.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's nobody has the answer, right? And I think that's one of the biggest things of mental health, is that nobody has the answer, but we're all looking for an answer.
Absolutely, man.
And some people turn to booze, some people turn to drugs, some people turn to sports, some people turn to podcasting, some people turn to art, music, business, finance. We all turn to something to give us value in this fucking crazy ass thing we're doing right now.
And if you're going to turn to something, try and turn to something that you can find that little tiny bit of pride in, because that's, I think, something, you know, and that's what you were saying, is no matter what circumstance you're going through in life, you always try, and when I say we or you, I mean us, how I think. Maybe some people don't, but, like, I always compare to myself to maybe what the person next to me is, you know. Oh, you know, I had a terrible day. I had this horrible thing that just wrecked my day and my week. But this person's, you know, dying of cancer. Their mother's dying, or, you know, so their thing's worse. So my thing is nothing. It's something. It's always something. If you're dealing with something that's terrible, or great, or whatever it is, embrace those feelings. If you are living a life or a day that is terrible, think about why that's terrible. Don't compare why it's terrible. Think about why it's terrible. Think about how it could be better the next day. If your day is great, think about the ways that you could have improved that day, made it even better. At the end of the day, every single human being is different than one another, and that's why we live the life that we live. However we were created, there was no way that we were created to be the same. And be yourself. Allow your problems to be your problems. Allow your success to be your success. Allow your good days to be your good days. Don't compare them to others. Share them with others, and you know, grieve and celebrate, and just take your life and take your your chapter on how it is, and I'm gonna end it on a saying that kind of not binds it together, but kind of pops in my head when I think about this. And this is a saying from a man that we both know very well, and it's, life is not about how long you live, it's about what you do with the breaths you take. And it's an important quote, because at the end of the day, whether you're happy, you're sad, you're mad, you're blessed, you're stressed, you're wealthy, you're poor, you're whatever you got, do something with your day. Do something with every fucking moment you have, whether you want to or not, because when the fuck else are we gonna do this again?
I agree, but it's tough.
It is, dude.
It's hard, and I agree. Like like 1,000% that you gotta make the most of your days, but it's tough when you're like, for example, for me, like, I want to make the most of my days, right? Like, I want to make sure every single day is fulfilled, and I'm either fulfilling my dreams or helping other people. Like that's kind of all it really, like, I'm not, I want to live, I'm not I think most people are not selfish people, right? I think I would say most people are not selfish people. And I think a lot of people just want to live a good, wholesome life, do what they can, help other people, progress humanity in a good way, in the way they see fit, right? But it's tough when just the struggles of life pull you down, in terms of like student loan debt. You have to work a job that you may not necessarily love, but it pays you okay. It pays you pretty good, and you can pay your bills, and you can support a family. But yet every single day you're like, I wish I was doing something else. But even if I try to do something else, I'm putting all of those other things in jeopardy. I'm putting my family, for example, if you have a kid, a wife, or a husband, children, and you say, I have this job that pays these bills, but it's not fulfilling me, and I want to just do something that fulfills my life. So but a lot of people can't just quit their job and just do whatever they want that fulfills them. And it's tough to come to that realization, to say, I have to just do the things that I don't want to do because of the decisions I've made in my life. And I'm not saying, like, for me, a lot of the decisions I've made have led me, to my career path. And it's not my favorite career path. It's not something I want to do forever. And I wish I would have, when I was a younger person, would have not gone down this career path. But it's where I'm at right now. And I can't just snap my fingers and stop and just completely do a 180 and go the other way. And it sucks. Like, you wish you can, and some people can, and for a person like me in my position, I look at those people and I'm like, I'm so jealous of a person who's pursued a business degree, but they have a few more advantages, and they can just say, I'm done with this part of my life, and I'm going to go in a completely opposite direction. And I know that I have the support, the financial support, where it doesn't matter if I just give up on everything I've kind of worked for, and I just give it up, and I just move in another direction because I can, because of either my parents or other family or other financial backings that just let you do whatever you want. And for a person like me, I look at those type of people and I'm so jealous because I wish I could just stop doing what I'm doing and I could just start whatever I want and just move in another direction and just say, yep, this is now the direction I'm going. And that plays a toll on your mental health in terms of like, well, I feel like I'm just as valuable as that person, but I can't just stop doing what I'm doing and just start this brand new thing because I don't have the resources that person has, or I don't have, and it's not even how hard you worked. You could work your ass off your whole life to get to where you're at and then look at your situation and go, well, I still can't do what that person's doing because they have people backing them or they have financial benefits that I've never even dreamed I could have. Like, and it sucks that it's not quote unquote fair, and it sucks that that's how life works, and it really drains on your mental just capacity to get up every day and just keep grinding through these things that you don't want to do, but this is where you're at in life, and this is what's paying the bills, and working this job is what's, getting your kids through whatever, or getting yourself through whatever, and it's good, it's like you're lucky that you're in this position, that you can afford, more than 99% of the population on this planet, but you're surrounded by people that are even more better off than you, and you just have these just mental games you play with yourself that, well, why am I not like this person? And it's just natural to judge yourself and compare yourself, and and even though you're not supposed to compare yourself and judge yourself to other people, you still do it, and you still go through these mental hoops and these mental struggles of, I need to stop comparing myself, but at the same time, you're still just comparing yourself.
But sometimes you can't even help it. Sometimes
Exactly.
It's natural.
And it
what
drives
the fuck
you
happens.
nuts, and it's like, it's this crazy thing that just happens in your brain, and you can't control it, and you try to explain to people why you're thinking this way, or why you're anxious, or why you're mad, or it's like you're having a good day but you're still uptight, or you're it's just, man, I wish the mental struggles never existed for people, because I feel like I have so many on a daily basis that I wish, I just wish it never happened, or I wish they were never things. But if they were never things, if they never were these thoughts, then would I even be a person? Would I even be a human? Or would I just be a blob moving through this earth, just doing what I do? But
to me, if I didn't go through the fucked up shit that I've been through and the fucked up shit that I'm going to go through, no, I wouldn't be the person I am. Sometimes I fucking wish I wasn't. Sometimes I would take the sacrifice of giving up everything that happened in my past chapters to see what the fuck I was. But, I mean, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be sitting here talking about it. Doesn't make it any easier. My battles are endless. I'll battle with my brain and every fucking thing I go through, and it's gonna be new things every day, every year, every month, every fucking day I live. I'm gonna have to battle through a new thing, man.
So what do you tell someone who understands that's part of, like, people like, we understand that's part of life, right? But it's still, there's some people that it weighs on them and they can't let it go, and they dwell on, and maybe not what do you tell people, but
Yeah, ask them.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean, and that's why I'm stuttering, man. I mean,
it's like that's part of the mental health struggles. Like you said, we all have these different stories, right? And that quote, you have to let your story go, but it's so hard to let your story, because once you let your story go, what do you have? You have nothing. You don't have anything once you let your story go.
There's not a book anymore.
There's all that is, once you let your story go, and I've never let my story go, so I don't want this to get misconstrued as I've let my story go and I'm a happy fucking person. Like, no, I hold on to my fucking story, and I still do, and it's a good quote.
And there's chapters fucking bookmarked and everything.
I gotta try to let it go, but like, once you let it go, what do you have nothing left. Like, you have, for example, going to college at Whitewater. If I'm just like, I was never a college graduate, well, then what the fuck am I?
You're a man who doesn't have a friend that he cherishes, a friend and that's the thing, that you say that to me, you tell me, what if I wasn't a college graduate? It's not just your education, it's your stories, it's your experience,
you have
the
to let
friendship.
It go. You have to let it go. All of it. Let it go.
Then you're
not
nothing.
You anymore.
You're absolutely nothing. In 2 months, you're not sitting up in a fucking wedding. You're not fucking cherishing stories and moments and opportunities and meeting people. You have nothing.
But that's what that quote tells us to do, is to let our stories go.
But maybe it's deeper than that.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not let it go.
Let me ask you something.
Maybe it's like let your ego go and just accept.
Maybe the story you have of yourself.
Right.
Maybe that story you've written out of the story that is reality. That the story you've written about yourself, that egotistic, that self-judged, that sorrow you have for your own fucking soul story. Let that shit go. Stop holding on to what you fucking believe is. Stop feeling fucking bad for yourself. Stop taking everything that you've experienced in your life and holding on to it like you are fucking any worse than anybody else.
Right.
Let that fucking part of you go and just allow your story to be your story and live it.
Whether good or bad.
It, dude.
Good or bad.
Good or bad, dude. And that's what gets lost in these topics, is it's not always bad. A lot of it is. The bad is what gets emphasized, but I have had countless amazing times in my life that get buried and forgotten because of the shit that is bad.
Like what? Like, do you have anything that comes to your mind
that are good?
Yeah, that like
my years, my family, my summers, my countless summers in Minocqua, in Florence, and the time sitting on porches with my cousins telling funny stories and jokes, or playing poker, or with my friends, learning from my friends or my parents, watching my parents laugh and dance with each other, or watching, my mom or my dad get to interact with their siblings, or just family, dude. I've had so much good shit that has happened to me.
Yep.
And I couldn't name as much bad shit that's happened to me, but the bad shit's just fucking crazy.
Dude, everything you said, that was, you let your story go, and you just said, this is what I am, this is what I've lived. There was no good or bad. It was just, this is my story. It's family, it's love, it's jokes, it's laughter, it's Minocqua, it's outdoors, it's water, it's camaraderie. Everything else, you let it go, and you just focused on what you are.
Yeah.
But to have that mindset every single day is really hard.
I don't.
It's really hard, and I don't think many of us do. I couldn't have come up with that as succinctly as you came up with it. I mean, you really did a good job of saying, I have no story other than family, love, laughter, compassion, outdoors, like oneness with what brought you into this world and what has made you a part of this world. You felt oneness with nature, with being on the water. You know, those are the things like that make me go, what is that to me? Like, and it's a lot of the same things,
but it's totally different.
But exactly. But to just completely let all other aspects of your story go and just only focus on those things every single day is not easy. It's not easy to wake up and go, I'm happy. I got a job that pays me, and in 4 days I'm going to be able to go and fish and do whatever the fuck I want and just be on a boat and chill for 2 days. You know what I mean? Like, someone could wake up with that feeling of like they go and they just do a job and then it's done, and then they get to go and just be one with nature for however long, and they're happy, they're good, their soul's rejuvenated, they feel amazing. For 5 days they go to work and they're just happy reporting to a manager and a manager's manager and blah, 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 blah. And that's great. That's amazing. And I hope, like, that's what I hope everyone, like, everyone feels, you know?
Be the dream. But it ain't, dude. I don't feel that way.
But I think a lot of people nowadays are getting to the point where they're like, wait a minute. Like, what? It's a Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. and the sun is directly above head. There's not a cloud in the sky. Why am I surrounded by bricks and drywall and blue lights when I could be outside surrounded by grass and rocks and dirt and water and surrounded by the sunlight?
But there's also people who are sitting on that Tuesday looking up at the sky like, why am I sitting in a field with no roof above my head?
Yep.
With no lights, with no bathroom.
Yep. Surrounded, covered in gnats.
And this is where I want to come back to the saying where I said life is not about how long you live, it's what you do with the breath you take. I don't mean that in saying you need to wake up saying, okay, today I made the best of today. No, it's today I fucking dealt with my bullshit. Or today I let my bullshit conquer me, but the next day I fucking tried to conquer it back. Like, by that saying, I mean, like, it's not packing your day full of happiness, rainbows, and fucking sunshine. It's battling the fucking battle we have to battle and helping other people while you're doing it. And whether you're happy or not at the end of that day, you fucking made it through that day, man. Like, it's nobody's fucking happy every fucking day, dude. And people, God, this topic.
No, hey man, but some people are happy every day.
Nah,
that's the thing,
put
man.
Bullshit on that, dude. 100%.
No, man. There are people who.
You really think so?
Of course. I'm not saying they're right or wrong.
I'm not either. I'm just saying I've never met a person who's.
I'm saying there's people out there who every day they wake up, they know what they're doing that day, they know what's expected of them, they do it, and they go to bed happy because that's what they did today. They went in, they worked for, they could be working for themselves, they could be working for the man, they could be working for whatever. They got their shit done, they went out, they walked their dog, they did whatever, they're happy, they're good, they live their life. That day, it's done, it's over, and they're happy.
Is that happiness or complacency?
It might be complacency to you, but it might be happiness to them.
No, it's
That's the
fucking-
thing, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's the thing. We'll never, ever be able to understand someone else's happiness. Someone could tell you, oh, "I'm so happy. I'm a dog shit collector. I'm the happiest I could ever be. This is my favorite fucking job. I fucking love this job." They could describe the exact same job to you, and you could be like, "If I had that job, I'd put a bullet in my head. That sounds horrible." But to that person, they're fucking happy. They're over the moon. They're they grew up from bullshit, and they're making 30 times as much as they ever thought they could make. They're living on a couple tenths of an acre of land, and they're just over the moon.
So don't judge a person's happiness.
Exactly. And don't compare your happiness to someone else's happiness, because your happiness could be way different than someone else's. And the second you start trying to compare your happiness to someone else's happiness is when it just falls to shit, because you will never be able to understand what another person has gone through in their life and what makes them happy, the same way you'll never be able to understand what a dog goes through in their life and what makes them happy. Like, you just can't. Obviously, that's a crazy idea. Oh, a human could never understand a dog compared to a human could never understand a human.
But
like,
it's a pretty fucking accurate comparison,
I would
man.
never be able to understand a neighbor. I don't know what his parents are like. I don't know what his parents are like, or their parents are like, or, just a trillion different aspects go into everyone's lives. And you try to be happy with your own life, and it sucks because a lot of the times you just end up comparing shit.
And
'Cause
that's
what
why
I do.
I've always been told, I've been raised to, respect my neighbor, respect the person next to me, and I never understood it until I got older and realized the reason I was told that is because, the first missed shot of the day. Bum ba da bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum ba da bum ba da bum bum. Hey.
There we go.
But to what I was saying,
Back at it.
I was always
Yes.
told to respect my neighbor, respect the person next to me, and I never understood why I was told that until I got older, and maybe I don't fully understand it still, but the reason is because I don't know what the fuck that person's going through. Whether they seem happy-go-lucky and they bother me so much because they're so fucking happy, when really they're just putting on an act because they're living the shittiest life, but they just want to be seen as happy people. Or they look sad because they don't want to oversee other people's sadness or whatever it is. At the end of the day, you don't know what the fuck somebody else next to you is going through. And there's no fucking reason to compare.
It's really tough.
And it's tough. And
Really tough.
I'm saying all of this when I do all of this.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Of
Everything we're
course.
saying,
Of
we're not sitting here talking about this like we don't do this shit. We do. We're saying this because this is what we
Right.
live to.
The reason we're saying it is because this is what we do.
So Max, I want to ask one thing of you to end this conversation.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a little bit.
But it's good. We're talking
yeah.
about it.
No, I
And I think this segment's going to be called "Let's Talk About It."
before let's talk about it before you get to your question. I think just talking about these type of things in general are very important. I think whether you're the happiest person or you think you're the happiest person or you think you're the saddest person, I mean, try to talk about it with someone. I know a lot of times I don't talk about things with people, and when I do, either it's once a week, I kind of start, like, either before a show, during a show, we'll kind of talk about things, and, I'll for sure after a show, I'll always feel a little bit better, even if it's like, oh, I want to talk about this, but I didn't get to it, but, I still got some things off my chest that felt good, or whether I talked to my significant other and I just kind of let some things off my chest, it helps. And I don't know how everyone should go about getting things off their chest, right? Like I don't know. But somehow, some way, we all have to get some things off our chest, off our mind, and let some things fly. Whether, I don't know, maybe it's just talking into a microphone and just letting it loose on the internet. I really don't know. I'm not, like you said, I'm not trying to give solutions or answers. All I can say is what usually sometimes helps for me, not usually, what sometimes helps for me is talking with a close friend, talking with a significant other, talking with parents. If you have none of that, if you don't have close friends, you don't have parents, you don't have a significant other,
Write it down.
write it down to Google psychiatrist you can talk to. You don't have, if you don't have medical insurance coverage to cover
Talk
that,
to us.
shoot us. Exactly. Like all I'm saying is that sometimes, even there were times I didn't want to talk to anybody, and when I was living in Milwaukee and I had buddies I was living with, I didn't want to talk to. I had a shit day and I didn't want to say anything to anybody, but I just started. I would just say something that happened in my day, and shit would just start rolling off my tongue. And whether they were listening or not, once it was off my tongue, it was like, okay, I feel good. I don't care if you listen or not. That's what I said. What I had to say. And I don't know if it's like that for everyone, but sometimes you just got to let it fly, whatever way you can. And
if it doesn't make you feel proud, it still feels good if you say it out loud, my man.
It does. There's something about just being able to say some things out loud. That's really hard, but
profitable.
It's not even. I wouldn't even say profitable. We haven't made any fucking money off this.
Okay,
but you know what I mean.
I
like,
mean, emotionally profitable.
Emotionally profitable. Yes, it's emotionally like you just feel like you can breathe maybe a little bit again, and it's really tough. I'm not.
We're not experts.
We're not experts. We're not saying. I would love. I'm not saying people should come talk to us about their problems, their mental health problems by any means.
But will fucking listen.
But if that's all you got, if we're all you got, we'll listen and we'll help in whatever way we can. But I guess what I'm saying is find an outlet that helps you, just an outlet that lets you just talk a little bit. I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean, shit, man. I don't know. What, God damn, I don't know.
No, dude, you're right. You're right, 100%.
If I heard someone saying this 4 or 5 years ago, I'd tell them to go fuck off. Go fuck themselves.
And exactly, if whoever's listening to this, if you think this is bullshit, and we're not telling anybody to do anything. We're telling people what has helped for us.
Right.
We're talking thoughts. We're talking what goes through our brains, and we're telling anybody who's listening that if you don't have fucking shit to go to, that if you do want to shoot us a message or you do want to talk to us your ass, we're not going to sit here and have a therapy session with you. We're going to listen.
We'll listen.
We will be an outlet, and if you want some feedback, then that's what we'll do. Or if you want advice of maybe who we've talked to, the people who we've trusted, or if you don't want anything, we're here to say we're just sitting here to talk because we need to talk.
Right.
This isn't us judging or telling anybody to do anything. This is us getting shit off our chest. And I
much,
think
yeah.
this is why we're going to start doing this every week, is because at the end of the day, we're fucking going through shit every day with ourselves that we need to let it off our chest.
Right.
And it is an open invite to anybody to talk to us, or say you have a problem going on, but you don't want to be, you want it anonymous, and we'll just talk about it. You tell us what's going on, I'll bring up the topic, and we'll fucking talk about it, dude. Like, at the end of the day, this is the most important thing in life, and the reason being because everybody fucking deals with it.
Everyone, man.
And that is, I guess, the only thing that I've learned that I'm really starting to understand is no matter the person, no matter how happy, no matter how successful, no matter how rich, no matter where they come from, everybody deals with mental health issues. Everybody deals with struggles. And it's just a matter of how you deal with it. And I just got to talk about it. I got to fucking talk about issues. And it's just what I'm going to do. So that is what it is, man.
I agree, and it's part of life.
Part of life,
it's
man.
not particularly fun. It's not particularly enjoyable. It's not particularly something, it's like a muscle you don't really want to exercise.
But the stronger it gets, the fuck. It is for me, the more I've exercised the muscle, the better it's affected me mentally at points.
You get to know yourself a little bit more, for better or worse. You know your worst parts about you very well.
Yeah, man.
You start to see, like, oh, I'm this type of person in these situations. I need to work on it. Then you also see the good parts of yourself where you're like, well, but I'm this person in these situations. Like, I need to capitalize on those things. And it's tough. Man,
Whew.
that was one quote, like that was one. We spent probably an hour and a half, an hour on one quote that you found. And, mental health is a really just hard thing to grasp, to fully. I mean, I don't know. I need to talk to an actual person about it, but I would never.
I'm just a guy. I'm fake.
But
I'm just kidding. I'm just drunk.
no, it's just fuck, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's ever going to go away for the human race, for the human population. I think it's only going to get more intense. It's only going to get more in depth the more we as humans realize who we are, where we are, and what we're doing. Because at the end of the day, we're just congealed balls of cosmic dust spinning on this rock.
Bunch of atoms.
That has been able to look around them and go, whoa, look at this. Look at where we are.
It's fucking crazy,
when
man.
we don't even know where we can go or what we could be, but we're trying to understand what we are right now. And it's a lot because we're a lot. We're like each person is a lot. Any person that has walked this earth, I truly believe if they fully dedicated whatever best part of their brain, could make an immense impact on the human population. But it's this weird dichotomy of living for now and living for the future and trying to figure out how we fit in now again and how we fit into the future and what makes us happy now versus what makes us happy 5 years from now versus what makes us happy 15 years from now versus what makes us happy 20 years from now. It's this constant evolution that we will never, ever solve that is mental health struggles.
Yeah.
Like, we're always going to go through it. We're always evolving. We're always changing. We're always thinking of something new. We're always thinking of something different. We're always thinking, I want to be better. We're always thinking I'm better than this person. We're always comparing. We're always judging. And it's never going to go away. And it's just where we are as a human population, as a human race right now.
It's a human being thing, man. And, I mean, at the end of the day, it's important to eventually, when as a human being you are ready and you are comfortable, to make it vocal to yourself or to somebody else or to whatever, man. I mean, if you go through your teens, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and so on, being silent, then you're going to die with a soul full of unsolved problems. And it's amazing what you can figure out when you make things vocal, whether people can understand it or not. It just makes it easier to move on to that next chapter, and talking about it is the hardest fucking thing to do, but one of the best things to do. So Max, I ask of you and myself, off this quote.
Amen.
One thing
I ask of you.
I ask of you, and only you.
Bread in the body, I ask of you.
So this quote today was, let your story go, allow yourself to be present with who you are right now. Max, I ask.
Who a religion?
Exactly.
What? No, I'm just kidding. All right, a little levity.
Levity,
Bring it back.
longevity, homebevity,
Longest yard.
Longest yard.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. One thing
All right, lay it on me.
that has enabled you to move on to a next chapter. Not a story. You don't have to get personal. You don't have to get into detail, but a lesson, a struggle, a upcoming, a something, one thing that has been a building block to moving on to a next chapter. I want you to think of something that somebody's told you or you've learned with yourself, something you've grown as a human being with, something that's just allowed you to not necessarily let a story go, but to write a new part of your life. Does that make sense? I've been thinking about this for a couple hours since we started talking. Now my nose is all runny.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Think about it.
Repeat the question one more time.
I want you to think about a time in your life, a maybe advice or a stepping stone or a hard being, anything that has happened to you as a human being that maybe has allowed you to begin a new chapter, or maybe a time that you realize that you are on a new chapter of your life and how you got there, bad or good, whatever it was, a stepping stone. A stepping stone. What has been a stepping stone? Even if it didn't get you to that next chapter, what has been a stepping stone, bad or good, that has just gotten you to a different place? And I don't want you to answer this now. I want this to come into episode 30.
No, I got an answer for you.
Oh?
I got one for you. And then I'll try to think of something a little bit more deeper, I guess. But I got one for you, and it was I don't know. It's owning my dog. It's having Hercules, man. Like living for something else other than yourself it's I've never been a very patient person, and I'm still not as patient as I'd like to be, but I think I've gotten even more. I've developed some patience having my dog, understanding that you can't just treat this life form like a human. You know, you have to think about something. You have to think about it from a completely different box. You have to, it's not just like you can tell a dog, hey, don't do this, and they'll look at you and go, why? And you can explain to them why. You really have to, like, understand patience and understand, like, they're going to make mistakes. And those mistakes don't reflect on you. Because a lot of times when I was trying to raise this dog, I would just think, like, oh, he shit in the house or he pissed in the house. That means I'm doing a bad job. No, it's like those mistakes are going to happen. And you have to try to learn to, like, okay, so I fed him. And it was an hour went by, and he was starting to, like, whine at me, but I was doing something, so I thought he'd be okay because I had to get some shit done. So I didn't take him out exactly when he started whining at me. Okay, but then he went, right when he started whining at me, he went and he shit in the other room. Okay. I have to learn to separate myself from the things I wanted to get done, and I have to learn, okay, I fed this dog. I got about an hour before he needs to go outside. What can I get done in an hour? And blah, blah, like little things like that. Or I fed my dog. Okay, an hour went by. I got to take him outside. Okay, he's outside, and he's still not going to the bathroom. I know he needs to go number 2. I know he needs to take a shit because this is his schedule. But now it's an hour and a half. 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. What did I do? Did I screw something up? What's going on? Is he okay? Like, what's wrong? So many of those things, for me, I learned a little bit more patience. I'm not a super patient person still, but I learned a lot of things from just trying to understand a different life form than myself or anything I could ever even imagine. Like owning a dog and like literally waking up 5 in the morning. Like when he was a little puppy, I'd wake up at 5 in the morning and I'd take him for walks because I knew he was like a puppy and he had energy, and I had to go to work at 7, 8 in the morning. And if I didn't take him for a walk, he was just going to tear whatever room he was in. He was going to tear it apart because he didn't get some exercise. So you learn to think, I have to wake up earlier than what I need to. Has that transferred over into my life right now? No. Like I wish I could wake up at 5 in the morning and either take my dog for a walk or get myself up on the treadmill or the elliptical, whatever it may be. So you learn to like live. Okay, he was a puppy. I got him up for his walks. He's learned to now like wake up 7, 8 o'clock, and he doesn't need to go to the bathroom. He doesn't need to be on those walks immediately. And now I can find those little downtimes in myself. But I wish I didn't have those. I wish I still had that work ethic that I had when he was a little puppy. Like there's just all these little things you learn about yourself that like it's a weird learning curve. You learn to like, okay, he's like a dog. When I take him for a walk, a dog's walk is different than a human's walk. Like, I walk because I'm trying to get exercise. The dog walks because he needs to sniff. He needs to experience the world. He needs to see what's out there. He needs to really feel a part of, this routine you're on. You can't just drag the dog along. You got to let him do his thing. It's not about you. It's about this other life form, and how does this life operate in the world that you are living in? And you have to put yourself in that position and think, well, probably hundreds of other dogs walk down this same sidewalk, and he can smell every single one of those dogs. So he needs a little bit more time to walk down this sidewalk, to smell, to feel a part of it, to take a piss, to push his scent back to whatever he's doing, whatever dogs do. I don't know. You need to separate yourself from your own world and try to think about it in ways that you've never thought about a life before. So I definitely think having a dog has played a part in me just taking a step back and saying, even just my life compared to this dog, like, I can't even comprehend the differences from my life to a dog. How can I even compare my life to another human being who goes through, we experience things generally kind of the same, me and, for example, me and you, but you had a million different experiences growing up than I had, and good or bad, it's not a good or bad thing. It's just, I will never be able to experience my life the way you experience your life. And that's okay.
And vice versa, too.
And vice versa. And that's okay. And that's something that you just have to accept.
And take a step back on.
Take a step back and say, look, I'm living my life the way I can live my life. Sure, do I wish I could live my life the way an elite athlete could live their life? Absolutely. I wish I could just hop on a plane and go to whatever island I wanted to go to because I'm a millionaire, because I can throw a football, or I can shoot hoops, or I can hit a golf ball, whatever it is. Absolutely. I wish I could do that, but that's not really my reality, and I have to separate myself from that and say that's their reality, and that's amazing. Like, good for them. Like, I appreciate what they do. Sure, am I a little jealous? Absolutely. Who's not just a little bit jealous? But am I sitting there wishing every single day that I could be like them? No, because I can't ever be like them. That's just not realistic. It's not in my cards, and it might be shitty and it might suck. I could work my ass off every single day and try to be the greatest golfer that's ever lived. Sure, I could do that, but then I wouldn't have a job and I wouldn't pay these bills that I've acquired. And it's a weird thing that you just have to take a step back and say, this is where I'm at. How can I live my life to just be the best I can be for the people that I'm around? And I don't know, like, shit, man, having a dog just made you go, well, fuck, like, there's just life that's completely different than yours, and you'll never be able to understand it, and this is the only life you'll really ever be able to understand is the one that you are living in. And for better or worse, you either have to just pray and work your ass off to get better, you have to pray and work your ass off to mentally be better, or if you envision yourself being in a different position, work for that. I mean, I don't know.
No, that fucking...
Just having a dog really just completely changed my perspectives on, like, sometimes you are what you are. You can, absolutely. You can change whatever, you can go down and change whatever path you want to change. Absolutely, yes. But are you going to have to work your ass off to do it? Yes. Are you willing to do it? That's up to the person. That's up to whoever you are as a person. And a lot of times in my life, I've not been willing to just completely sacrifice a lot of the things that I have in my life to completely change who I am for an ideal that I'd like to be.
Yeah.
But it's a long-winded answer for your
I
question.
like it, dude. Hell yeah, man.
What about you? What about you? Lay it on me. What about you?
I'm thinking about it, dude. I can't. I got to think on that one, bro.
That's all this accountable episode
Yeah, bro.
29.
It's 1:07 in the
No,
morning.
it's already 107. Holy
Yo, dog, this is episode 29. We bottle beer. Yeah, dude, we talk life,
We
man.
kicked it, man.
Thank you for tuning in. I know your time is
Hell
valuable.
yeah.
There's thousands of other podcasts that you could have settled for, but now you're just vibing with two goofy dudes from Wisconsin who like to discuss their problems and figure out ways to solve them.
Yeah.
And challenge the listeners to get up out of their comfort zone. Try some shit they ain't done before. This is Hold Us Accountable.
107.
Yeah, this is
107.
Hold Us
I gotta wake up in 2 hours. Fuck.
This is Hold Us Accountable.
Hey, I'm just looking at the brighter
Hold us
side.
accountable.
Yeah, at least I get to eat breakfast in 2 hours.
Mental health, baby.